Hello, and welcome to the 43rd installment. 43rd installment of 3 + 1 Dudes podcast.
Yeah, not bad.
Back for another lovely week.
Yes.
With a new host.
Yes.
A first-time host.
First time.
First time listener.
Long time listener, first time host.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks since we've been back.
You got to tell the nice people who you are, even though they know your voice by now.
I'd hope so. This is Alec. You may have recognized me from previous episodes.
Yep.
Hopefully you have.
The Jerry episode.
The Jerry episode, yeah.
The legendary Jerry episode. The one that set America ablaze.
Yeah.
Or, those couple people that listen.
Yeah, right. This is the first time anyone has hosted the show that wasn't one of us, so it's super interesting to me.
Yeah.
This will just sort of... This is just sort of on a different track now. I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah.
For those of you who can't see, Dave has beer salt, and he is right now salting.
But you're salting Rolling Rock. That is not going to work.
He's salting the can of Rolling Rock.
It's all foamy.
Yeah, it's Rolling Rock is...
Now, beer salt, for the record, is an actual thing.
Yeah.
This is not just a can of Morton's that
It's like you get to season your beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is something I picked up in Texas, and I didn't open it until just now. I thought it was a cool idea. It's still foam. It just keeps foaming.
Yeah, you just put salt into it.
Maybe add a little bit more salt while I'm at it.
Yeah, that's good.
Even it out.
That's a good idea.
Apparently, Rolling Rock is made of pure slug.
Right, naturally.
It's just slurm.
Yeah, I love the lime salt thing.
It is really good.
Great.
No, very good.
It's worth noting that we're like schmorping and dorping here,
We
too.
are doing a little schmorping.
We're a little schmorpity dorpity dorp.
And some dorping.
Some schmorping and some dorping.
A little of each.
A little bit of both.
I'm the only one not schmorping. I feel
I know,
bad.
I'm sorry.
It's my own damn fault. I forgot my cigar at home.
Well, should we just jump right into schmorping and dorping since we're...
We usually don't do schmorping and dorping anymore, but now's a better time to do it because
tonight, all the rules right out the window.
Here's the rules over here. See this? These are the rules. What you gonna do?
Right here. This over here is the window.
Toss them out the window.
They were right here, inside the window. And now, they're all the way out here.
they're right here, outside the window.
He's going to tear our fucking format down from the inside.
So here's what you're doing. This is the
Saboteur.
mold right here. This is the mold. What you're doing is you're taking the mold and you just I dropped it. You
See how it was a nice one-piece mold?
Yeah, you shattered it.
Now it's shattered.
Shattered the mold.
So you see this? You see this nice box right here? You're the way you're thinking is like way out here, like over
Like left field from the box. I see. 'Cause
Yeah.
Most conventional thinking would be inside said box.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, right.
Awesome.
As the yes.
Yes.
As the yes.
All right. Well, I am schmorping a nice Cohiba.
Cohibas.
And I am dorping a concoction.
Something.
It's a mix of Monster Energy, Ultraviolet, Miller High Life, a lime, and beer salt. Believe it or not,
Not bad.
it's average.
It's not bad.
Believe it or not, it's average.
I am. You know what? I guess it's worth noting too because I had the previous year's cigar of the year on this podcast, and that was the My Father 1926.
My father.
My father, the judge.
The judge.
No, it was My Father 1926. This is 2017 cigar of the year. So this is last year's. This is Arturo Fuente's Eye of the Shark, which is not a cheap cigar. But very hard to find. Nonetheless, you think these people would be crazy to stock it. It would be, crazy about stocking it so people could spend $15 goddamn on one of these things. It's pretty damn good. I like it. Not bad. And then I get to have some Templeton Rye. And I got Miller High Life too. So there's that.
While we're doing Schmorman and Dorma, I'm just going to open this right
there's
now.
mine.
It is time. I'm just going to open this. I brought this bottle down, and I thought I want to share this with my buddies because this is a special thing.
Here, you take that. Give that to Alec.
Yes.
Wait, he's got one.
Yeah, this is the glass you brought up. We'll just use this one too.
Wait, I have one here.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Oh, is that a clean glass?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, then I'll take this.
You take that. All right, I think we got this.
Yes.
And then
So-
Dave, you take the one in front of you.
Since we're actually going to do a Schmorben and Dorpen,
Take the fucking beer.
what the hell? Let's go for it. This is Wisconsin Belgian Red. It is a very special beer from New Glarus Brewery. They do this regularly in Wisconsin. We do not have access to it here. It is a sour cherry aged with oak, and it is a little treasure.
This is much better than Monster mixed with Miller High Life.
This smells like fresh brewed apple cider. I know it's not apple. But
Oh my god!
It's really
Tons
good.
and tons of cherries in
This is something we should have saved for a second beer tasting episode.
Yeah,
This is very good.
There's nothing else like this in the world.
God, it's like a Jolly Rancher. Jesus.
It's just, and it's all like,
It's like someone diluted down in one of the atomic warheads.
There's like, do I get like a little bit of cinnamon sugar in there?
I don't know.
There's a little cinnamon sugar.
There's whatever it is. I mean, I know it's basically, they claim just it's really as basic as, some wheat malt, some barley, some hops, lots of cherries, tons and tons of tart cherries.
Yeah.
This is pretty much red to look at, so
Very red and
Yeah.
clean. I like a clean beer.
yep.
Oh yeah.
This is a very clean beer.
There are no sticks or stems in this beer.
You know, I'm getting like a cinnamony kind
No,
of thing here. This is good.
No
as
human
fuck.
viscera.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
there's also like
always a
oak.
plus.
There's oak to it, so it's like aged in oak barrels. I don't know if that's contributing to any of that extra flavor you're getting there.
That extra kick.
That extra kick from Texas, Pete.
This is very good.
Now I'm just going to throw a little bit of lime salt in it to ruin it.
You're also smoking a Cohiba.
That's right, I
That's
am.
right.
I mean, should we discuss briefly?
I guess we should. Why everybody's got Cohibas?
Yeah, right. We got Cohibas because
It's been like
It's been.
It's been like 3 weeks since we've been back here. I'm engaged. I think everybody listening to this already knows that. Yeah. Woo!
Congratulations, buddy boy.
Everybody sitting at this table are my groomsmen.
Yes.
I couldn't, but all right. I'm going to make this clear. Everybody who's listening, I have 3 other groomsmen. You guys are the important groomsmen. I just wanted to let you know that.
Okay.
The other groomsmen were so we could fill out spots. And I don't get me wrong, I love those guys. I love all those guys. Her little brother is one, so I guess he counts too. But like the ones that I directly really like, the ones that were definite yeses are all at this table.
Oh man.
So,
Hell yeah.
Well, we're excited. I know
Yeah,
we're all
man.
excited.
I
here.
know. I was floored.
Yeah.
Incidentally, the historical purpose of groomsmen in the history of marriage is to defend the groom and be basically their alternates in the event that someone challenges the groom for the hand of the bride.
Oh, really?
So as such, I'm going to come very heavily armed.
that's great.
Yeah. Got to be prepared.
Yeah, let's do this shit.
Go.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
A West Side Story on this shit.
I never realized that was the purpose. So, like, if you're getting married and someone goes, "No, I want to marry her," fight me. Then just one
Yeah.
of your groomsmen.
One of your groomsmen is your alternate to stand in a duel. He comes up and draws, and he's like, "All right, come on, let's fucking go."
Nice.
Can you tag team them? So
Yeah, I'd say I'm just gonna send you all up there.
all at once?
can you like 3D the other guy through the table? 'Cause that'd be-
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I did it out in Boston by I can't remember the name of the lighthouse. Marblehead. It was by Marblehead Lighthouse
Nice.
out in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You know, before you went, you were saying you're like, yeah, I'm going to do it.
yeah,
Do
it's
it.
because
Yeah.
I had the ring for how fucking long, like months and months, and I was like, what's the best time to do it? I'm like, you know what, just do it.
Do it.
I almost actually that day when we went out, I almost didn't take the ring with me, and then I'm like, no, because I didn't want to have to hide it. I'm like, no, just bring it with you, and then we'll,
Right.
and the moment just happened to present
when the
itself.
time is right. You'll know.
That's right. It only took
If
6
you
years.
build it, they will come.
So yeah, I'm engaged now. So everybody's got Cohibas.
congratulations.
We're gonna have
Celebratory smokes.
a little bit of a gift box for everybody who's going to be my groomsman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Incidentally, what were your guys' socks?
I don't know if they're all the same or not. Mine have cigars and wine.
Not all the same.
Cigars and wine.
Cigars and scotch.
Oh, is it scotch?
Yeah, it's scotch.
Oh, I thought they had glasses of wine.
Is all about bowling. I got bowling pins and bowling balls.
Yeah, buddy.
Nice.
So I have 2 stipulations. The first one is that we are all going to wear blue suede shoes or whatever is close to blue suede that we can find that's not crazy expensive.
Right.
And everybody has got to wear those socks on that day.
You got it. You got it, buddy.
My socks, incidentally, George Washington.
That's awesome. I finally got my fiance to cave in and agree that we can all wear Sparko racing shoes.
Yes.
So I may be going that route.
It was a difficult battle, but it is one.
It
is
was.
what you're saying.
I forfeited the shell toe Adidas, but I get a sweet set of Sparkos instead.
Hell yeah.
Not bad.
I was trying to talk Trisha into blue suede chucks. I was trying to talk her into it. I don't
That'd be
think
pretty sweet,
It's not
too.
going well, but
No.
I'm working on it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry. But yeah, I'm engaged. That's
Yeah. We talked briefly. I can't remember. I think last episode. When was the last one we did? Was it before you?
Yeah, it was before he left.
I was waiting.
That's
I was
right.
waiting the week before I left.
And then we did a sketches episode, and then we didn't do anything.
Correct.
Shit.
Okay, so I think when you were,
It's been a while.
yeah, I'm trying to remember what. I thought we talked at least about the fact that you had some news.
You talked about that before you introduced the sketch episode.
Oh, maybe
You
I did.
said Chris will tell you all about that when he gets back.
That's right.
And
Yeah,
I did.
But now here's Kirk Herbstreit with some analysis.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's been busy. You got back from Wisconsin too.
That's right. I
Yeah,
took
you
a-
were on vacation. We took a couple weeks off of the Dude Cast. So.
Yeah.
Well, when you consider that we basically haven't had more than 1 week off of this, and now what has been like a year.
Yeah.
About time to take a couple of breaks in there.
Sure.
Recharge
sure.
our batteries.
Yeah.
Fit it up and then coming right back to it.
Yeah.
Sticking our fingers right inside that thing.
Okay.
Taking that pie? Yeah, I'm taking it there. You're just grabbing that pie, taking both fingers, and you're just getting right into that pie. Yep.
Now then.
Guys, I think we're fucked.
Wow. I feel like maybe. Are we fucked?
Are we fucked? I mean, I don't know.
I got a feeling that we're fucked.
I say we're fucked.
Ah, we are fucked?
We're fucked because neckbeards.
Neckbeards.
We're fucked because the gentlemanly and courteous, respectful neckbeard is the most oppressed minority in the United States today.
It's true.
It
Look
is
it up.
It is absolutely true. This on the scale of
What were you gonna say? What were you gonna say?
on the scale of no Irish need apply or will not accept Negroes for employment or what have you.
Okay.
Some fucking medieval discrimination. This sign was recently posted outside of a somewhere in the nation. A collectible and like an anime and cards and collectible shop.
Oh, God.
Called Jungle.
Okay.
Customers within this space. This is atrocious, by the way. This is blatant discrimination against neckbeards. Customers within this space are expected to conform to normal grooming and hygiene standards.
Whoa. Keep talking, but I think I saw this in Wisconsin.
You will be asked to leave if you or your clothing have an odor offensive to other customers or staff. Thank you very much for your understanding and cooperation. Did you see this sign?
Okay, it wasn't in that print, but I saw that exact sign in the same wording in a game store in Madison.
No shit.
I swear to God, this must be a thing they have to tell people now.
Well, have you seen some of the people that go into those
Well,
stores?
again, that's discrimination, though. If I choose not to bathe or do my laundry,
My goddamn grandfather died for my right to not fucking shower and smell like shit.
and then my fucking mommy didn't do my fucking laundry.
No, I swear that I actually saw the exact same wording, and this must just be going around.
This is apparently a thing that's happened. Where people,
It's necessary.
grown fucking men have to be reminded to bathe.
Yeah, because let's be clear, this isn't for the women. This is grown men. This is absolutely not for the
Grown
women.
men. You wouldn't have like the two like anime maids on the thing if you know this was being addressed to women.
Yeah,
Like you don't see that outside of like a Dillard's.
Right.
Yeah.
If your pussy is this stinky, we can't let you in here.
Attention, female customers, crotch rub will not be tolerated.
If your under boob sweat is
Please return all white garments in the same white condition you received them.
Yeah, this is absolutely not for women. This is a man problem.
Yeah. And
this is not a man problem. Let's be
problem.
clear here. This is a boy problem.
Yeah,
This
sure.
is not a man problem.
Yeah.
and what's scary is
Oh
this.
my god, this beer is so good.
It's crazy good. Here, I'll top you guys off again. There's a little bit left.
Oh,
I will.
Just
Yes.
a splish for everybody.
I'll take a splash.
I think a splash or a splish? How about a splishity splash?
Can I take it in the bath? Round about a Saturday night.
I believe you can.
Oh, sweet God.
A little bit more.
Now, we can't agree that that is some form of discrimination.
Yeah.
But I kind of wish they had that at the theater when we went and saw Super Troopers 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because I'm pretty sure the people in front of us shat themselves before walking into the theater.
That's not what I was expecting the scent to be.
Can I
no, the other scent. No, it was
That's
abundant
fine.
and plentiful.
can I ask you? Was it in those nice leather seats at the theater?
It wasn't.
Okay, good. I don't want anyone bringing poopy britches into that theater.
I still haven't been to the renovated Tinseltown.
I have not either.
I gotta.
It's just great.
It's just incredible.
Getting overpriced beer, kicked
Yeah.
back in a really comfy pleather
Yeah.
chair, and
I got the worst daiquiri I've ever had in my life. Put my feet up and I watched Star Wars. Yep. For
just an ice.
goddamn
It's
dollars.
just an icy with a fucking like windshield washer fluid in it.
That's what it tasted.
Give
It
that
tasted
little bit
like
burn.
instead of rum, they just poured triple sec into the strawberry daiquiri mix. They're like, this is fine.
It's good enough. Well,
He's drinking in a movie theater. He doesn't know what's what.
Cordials count as liquor, right?
Yeah. No, that's No, I love that experience of like, and admittedly, you can have a better movie experience at home.
Sure.
I think.
Yeah, because
You know, you put your feet up,
You get as drunk as you want there.
bring
You
reasonable.
don't have to wear pants.
right.
Yeah, right,
Judging
exactly.
you.
You pause the movie and squeeze your girlfriend's boobs in the middle of it.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, you don't even have to wait until after the movie to have sex. You can just fucking just go at it right there.
Right.
No one will throw popcorn at you or call the cops or anything.
Or try to join in. You know.
Get out of here.
Quit it.
Stop.
Oh god.
You poke me in the ear.
Oh god. Oh god.
Jesus.
Morty.
Morty.
So anyway, we're fucked because neckbeards are definitely the most oppressed minority in America. Yeah. Being asked to bathe.
Oh my god.
How dare they?
Yeah, it's really sad they have to say that. But then I remember when I was at YSU, you guys remember that gaming room in the back?
Yeah, the neckbeard
Berries?
room. Where every time a woman would walk in, the whole room would freeze. That's really true.
All their vision's based on movement.
Remember, Chantel walked in there to show me one time.
Yeah.
And they all froze. Chantel's very pretty. She's like model. I would say she could be model. She's very, very pretty.
I would say so.
And we walked in together because I'm like, what the fuck is back there? And she's like, oh, it's just like a little game room. She's like, here, I'll show you. And she like walked me back here. And they all froze.
Are you talking about the corner or are you talking about like
Back room of Peaberry's where there was a little hallway. It was like an L-shaped tiny
oh
hall.
like right next to where that Dunkin' Donuts was?
Well, it was Peaberry's before that.
Yeah, right. When it was
Yeah,
Peaberry's,
yeah.
inside there, you remember there were like a ring of couches at the one side of Peaberry's, and there was a door by the back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I never went up there.
Yeah, that's where they all played D&D and, you know.
Yeah, they like played table games and card games.
It's that game of dicks and dicks.
Yep.
I remember once I walked in there just to be like, I wonder what this is. I got like 2 steps in, looked around, and went, oh no. And then
Well, that's basically what we did. Like, I remember we walked in, me and Tel walked in.
Yeah.
And they actually just stopped what they were doing. They saw that she was there and then didn't speak. They're like, Oh my God.
It's a deer. Don't spook it.
Right, exactly. A woman walked in and she's like, "Yep." And then we turned around and walked out. And I'm like, "What's going on in there?"
And then immediate uproar behind you as you walk out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, not to not to talk too much shit on people who play tabletop games because we're about to start one. But in particular, that room.
No, there's nothing inherently wrong with tabletop games. I mean, like anything you've ever played in any video game, there's probably at least one element you can trace back to Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, the difference is we have women. So
now let me say this about Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't get to stop there, but on my way back home, we rolled through Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, which is the home of the inventor of Dungeons and Dragons.
And fondue.
Gary Gygax.
Fondue.
Yeah, and it's apparently like they have something there dedicated to it. You can I don't know, it's a little museum or something like that.
It's a little vial of Axe body spray and a fedora.
It's a sign that tells you to imagine his museum here. But anyway, it's like right on the inside of Wisconsin.
Yeah, not bad.
And speaking of Wisconsin, I will say we are fucked because we are not in Wisconsin because holy hell, what an awesome state to be in.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, this is... I'm telling you, like, it's a way cooler place than you would think. Like, before I'd ever been there, I just imagined it was just dairy farms and that's it.
Yeah. That's it.
Is everything deep fried in mayonnaise?
It is not. But everything, like, the thing is, every meal you eat there seems to be a little better because there's like surrounded by all the farms where everything comes from.
Sure.
Like, in a way, they're almost their own little self-sustaining farm state. So like everything fresh is there.
That's awesome.
And all kinds of...
imagine what their Wendy's must be like. Oh. Always fresh,
never frozen.
Oh,
Yeah,
must be amazing.
Shit, I bet you could fucking like wake up in the morning, go to a farm, meet a cow, and go like, yeah, that one, and then like that afternoon have it in a Baconator.
that's the dream, dude. Like, that's actually the dream.
You can't get fresher than that.
Yeah, like the Wendy's has a cow pen out back, and you just go, like with a lobster. You
Now
go,
serving number 48. Just give him that little fucking thing that stabs him in the head. Here you go, Horde.
You go up here, you're like, can you make mine triangular? And they're like, the fuck is wrong with you? No.
But yeah, no, it's just such a cool place, and people are really friendly. One of the funniest things that happened when we were there was this: we had left lunch. We were getting ready to go to a place called House on the Rock, which I'll talk about in a minute. But we're talking about getting there, and a woman, like a complete stranger, is walking past us and goes to get in her car and says, "It's cold in the House of the Rock. You're gonna want to bring a coat. It's chilly in there." Like, just overheard us and decided to tell us to bring a coat. It was like the neighborliness of that is ridiculous. They don't ope up there.
They don't open. It's just us.
It's just us.
I'm gonna sneak on past you there and grab the ranch.
Grab the ranch.
Yeah.
See, maybe it's just we're so deluded we're living in this part of the country because instantly my inner Youngstown just be like, don't fucking worry about it.
Yeah, right. That's the thing is,
Like, was I fucking talking to you? Fuck off.
cynical me was like, yeah, cool. And then like, what the fuck is
I was like, oh man, she just had my best. She had my well-being at heart.
That's really it.
Yeah.
A lot of
We're not used to that.
How dare she?
Yeah.
It's that part of the country, man. Like I was the last time I went on that big work trip out to New England.
Yeah.
I was sitting on the one of the flights home next to a flight attendant who was hopping back to Minnesota.
Yeah.
And she was just like the sweetest person. She was super nice.
Yeah.
And I was like what's wrong with you?
Why are you talking to
Are you
me?
dying or something?
Are you lonely?
A Rust Belt jack off in the Great Lakes states.
Yeah. But one of the things we saw there that was so spectacular and so bizarre, I didn't even know what it was.
A woman fucking a steer.
A woman farting on a pancake.
A woman masturbating with a hockey puck. You just kind of rotate that grooved edge.
Game used hockey puck.
A man masturbating with a hockey puck, watching a woman masturbate with a hockey puck.
Two hockey pucks
Hockey's very big in
masturbating.
that part of the country.
What I saw was please, I insist.
A woman masturbating with a hockey puck while farting on a pancake.
A man with
And a pancake farting on a man
Masturbating.
with a woman puck.
Wearing a coat because it was slightly chilly.
a man stuffing his pants with hockey pucks to attract mates.
Really weird, guys.
this is derailed.
Even for you.
A man with a stack of hockey pucks for a prosthetic leg.
A man farting on a prosthetic leg made out of hockey pucks while a woman masturbates on top of a cow.
Which is ironically in the back pen of a Wendy's.
A naked man covered in melted cheese.
Playing Dungeons and Dragons.
I could wait all day.
Well, that's good because you might have to.
He was level 9 masturbating.
He was a level 9 hockey puck.
He rolled 20 on his dexterity check.
What I saw.
No, do go on.
No, please. I don't know what's taking you so long.
Dave, you're really drawing the story out.
So I don't know. Have you guys ever heard of American Gods?
Neil Gaiman novel.
Yeah, Neil Gaiman novel. They turned into a TV show. I have neither read nor seen it. I read the sequel for some reason.
That sounds really gay, man.
One of the sort of like central locations of the book is this place called the House on the Rock, which is described as like a great source of some kind of power.
It's Alcatraz.
I went to see this. It's a real thing. It started off as like a cabin sort of built up high in like a rocky, like an outcropping of rock. This dude, like, I can't even begin to describe how insane it is. He sunk all this time and effort and like tons of money into building a house up on this rock, and then a cantilevered outcropping from that, like a bridge.
Entirely out of hockey pucks.
No. You could walk out onto this like suspension sort of like point, and you could see out into the woods, and then there's all these weird collections and rooms that are themed that are like full of weird. They built the world's largest carousel, and it's not populated by a single horse. It's like full of weird creatures. Like
Cows.
like mermaid people and like weird dragon demons and a giant bulldog and like
From House of a Thousand Corpses?
Yeah.
it's
Hey, bulldog.
Black Republicans. Mythical creatures.
Yeah,
Little
right.
things of fantasy and whimsy.
Yeah, it's like I can't describe this place to you, but it's just full of like he made these giant music playing automaton machines that you now feed a token into. And like all these automated drums and like automated violins and stuff, most of which don't actually play.
Right.
They actually like most of it's like run through speakers, but they did used to play. He built all these crazy, insane contraptions. I can't even describe it to you, but it's like such a weird place. So I guess to wrap it up, why we're fucked is I really love Wisconsin. I don't think anyone really appreciates how cool it is there. And I kind of wish I lived there.
I wouldn't mind.
You wish you lived there until you live there, and then it would just be like here.
You know,
just
maybe
get tired of it. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Less cynical, though. Sounds like
Yeah, maybe less cynical, but like I know, it's the symptom of like being somewhere, right? So like I had friends in Florida who had lived in Florida their whole lives and never gone to the beach until I went down there to visit. So do you know what I mean? Like, right? It seems like exactly. It seems like something that would just be natural.
Yeah.
Because to us that's a vacation. To them that's just like whatever. It's it's normal.
That's where the hurricanes come from.
Right.
Yeah, it's our natural enemy.
It's where the hurricanes and the immigrants come from. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have two reasons we're fucked. Number, and I'm going to keep them brief. I'm going to touch my briefs on these.
Okay.
One, ordering anything online is both the greatest gift that the 21st century has given us and also the biggest pain in the ass.
Yep.
I've been waiting for weeks for this thing to come in, and it has not.
Oh,
and I
no.
keep getting these messages like your thing is delayed. And
Where did you order from?
I ordered it. I can't tell you because it'll spoil the other part of his birthday gift.
It's almost definitely coming from somewhere in China.
Yeah, China.
China.
It was like it was one of those things that you see on Facebook that was like a Facebook page advertised thing. And I've ordered a bunch of cool stuff from there before. It does take time.
Okay.
But like
Not that much.
not that way. Like it's like taking too long. And I don't think that I'm getting ripped off. I just think that I'm fucking waiting for,
Ever.
Yeah, and it's really fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah.
It's like ordering anything from Amazon if you don't want to spend $100 on Prime.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
You'll have this in 4 to 6 months.
Right.
Enjoy.
Exactly.
It's in stock. You can have it in 2 days.
Yeah.
We just want more of your money.
Right.
My favorite is when something takes forever to arrive, and then it just like comes like covered in stamp stickers and labels from like every country in the world that it had to cross to get to you.
Yep.
Yeah, the second reason I'm fucked is because Dave got me into the stock market again. And I've spent the
There
last
goes your money.
whole lot of the last week just checking my phone, which is exactly what I did last time. Just watching my money not move.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm doing it either. Because I bought a couple. I bought a share of Ford, a share of Trivago, and
Yeah.
I got a free share of Groupon when you joined, and all of them are just going down.
Yeah, that happens.
And if I'd have been smart enough to recognize, oh shit, the economy is doing pretty sweet, when the economy was doing pretty sweet and the market was on the rise, that would have been great. But now it's almost like maybe it's too late.
Nah, it's fine. Stocks are one of those things that's a gamble, but it's a long-term gamble.
Right.
And I've been through this before.
Yeah.
And I did the same fucking thing that I'm doing now. Incidentally, I'm up $1.16 today. Woo! High rolling.
It's like being at a poker table for 30 years.
Yeah.
If you can tolerate that hell.
So, like watching any game of poker ever on TV.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I tried. Aubrey and I went up to Cleveland, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, and we were both fairly intoxicated, and I was trying to teach her how to play poker, and it wasn't working. So hopefully soon, I want to learn her some hold'em.
Man, I would love to have a poker game and just fucking sit down and play poker. And
It's been a while since
It's been
a long time since we played poker.
it's been a long time. Now I'm playing poker. But wait,
we got 4 guys here. We can just play some poker for fun, for shits and
could.
giggles, and put something on the TV.
That'd be the next show. It's just people listening into us playing Texas Hold'em.
Yeah, because if TV poker is so great, radio poker has got to be even better.
Yeah. No, I'd love to play some poker. I don't think we have anything else really planned for the evening.
no, I don't think so either. I was gonna get naked when we got upstairs.
Yeah, get upstairs, rip it all off.
I'm gonna go take a quick pissy poo.
A pissy poo?
But then our
a poopy piss.
you still have to go, right?
No, I already pissed.
For why we're fucked.
Yeah, you
Christ, you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, you have yet to tell us why we're fucked, and goddamned it, I have to know.
Recently, I'd say we're fucked because it is impossible to get anyone to do their fucking job in the service industry whatsoever. Anything that relates to trying to make your experience buying or doing anything better,
Yeah.
people fucking suck at it.
That's a tall order.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, hell, what do you expect
suppose.
people to be helpful and nice?
I don't. I expect them not to go out of their way to piss me off.
Oh, God. Okay, what do you
I
got?
would be happy with just perfectly neutral.
I feel like you've got a story here.
No, not anything specific. Just probably the last 2 weeks, everything I've bought has either gone wrong, and then dealing with the fucking customer service people has been a fucking nightmare.
Oh, God.
See when I hear service, I think like waiters, bartenders, people like that.
But
No, as a
you're
whole,
talking about
the-
customer service.
Yeah, like customer service
Sure,
products.
Well, that's never good. And the last time
No.
Ben talked about it, he was like ready to blow a gasket
Yeah.
because how bad that was.
Except for the Taco Bell on 46. Those fuckers don't listen. They don't know how to fucking take down a goddamn order. You know how every time I
right, so you
Up by is there one up by the truck stop?
the Long John Silver's one.
Oh yeah, that one's horrible.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So let me read
I've
that
never
back
read that
to you.
one.
You want a bag of chicken bones and some rusty nails. Anything else?
It's the thing that always gets me. I always order my Baja Blast with no ice. It's cold when it comes out of the machine. I drink it fast, and I don't need that ice taking up valuable Baja Blast space.
Exactly.
I can see the rage bubbling under the surface right now.
At first, I'm like, okay, they forgot. No problem. It's not a common thing. It's not that fucking hard anymore. I send it back. I'm like, excuse me, this should have no ice in it.
I send it back.
Yeah, I do. I send it back to the draft. No. No ice. They just get disgusted with me. Like, no, I got to dump this out. I'm like, yes, you fucking do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I don't want ice taking up my soda space.
No.
Right.
And then if I don't happen to drink it right away, it starts watering it down.
Right.
Hey, I ain't got time for that.
I am a
Have a
large
shittier
man.
Yes.
And I want all the soda that you can give me.
I'm paying for 32 ounces. I will get 32 ounces.
Is it just is it soda or is it like syrup they pour over it? Or is it like soda when it comes out of the thing?
When it comes out of the thing,
Yeah, they
it's
mix the
soda.
seltzer water and the syrup. It's already mixed in
Yeah,
the
like
thing.
the syrup's
Oh, okay.
in the
See,
bag.
well,
in
I
there.
didn't know if it was just like a regular icy where it's just syrup that they pour into a bunch of shaved ice.
Oh wait,
Morty.
you're talking about an icy?
No, I'm just talking about Baja Blast.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like
Just a drink.
the Baja Blast. Oh, okay.
Not the Baja Blast icy. The regular Baja
just a
Blast.
sody
Yeah.
pop.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
Which
Sody pops.
Which
Yeah. Okay. Then that's even more inexcusable.
yes.
Yeah, it really is.
I'm not that big of a dick. I was like, I want this icy, and I want you to sift all the fucking ice out of it.
I'll have a Baja Blast icy. Hold the ice. That's what I thought you meant.
I would like a cup of Baja syrup, please, to go.
All 32 ounces. I'm sending it back.
Syrup.
Wow. I am an idiot.
To spoon it out over a drink. Syrup.
I want to do that. I want to be that guy.
As regards the Baja Blast, as I'm sure you guys are aware, it is available in select locations. In
Giant
the
Eagles.
can.
I've heard Giant Eagles.
Yeah, I've had it in the can, yeah.
It's back for what I assume is going to be a limited time.
Didn't they run a campaign to see if that would be permanent? It was either that or Pitch Black, and I don't know any fucking barbarian who would vote for Pitch Black over Baja Blast.
My brother was a huge fan of Pitch Black, and when they brought it back, it was totally different.
Run.
Yeah, they made it sour.
Run.
Yeah, fuck that.
If you can find some Baja Blast, I bet that would make a great base for a margarita.
Oh yeah,
Base. How low can you go? Yeah.
I can probably mix that in with this. I can mix that in with this monster.
Water buffalo.
There's some Baja Blast in this Monster
could.
Miller mix.
We got hot coffee upstairs.
Yeah. Why don't we just mix all the beverages in this table and see what happens? Like we're in a middle school cafeteria.
Suicide. Potluck.
No, thank you.
That's to come later.
Well,
Well,
that a segment?
I suppose so.
Are we taking a break?
It's time for us to take a little break here. I
take
guess
a break, then we'll come back with the hot topic,
the hot.
the good one, not the shitty
That's right.
overrated story anymore.
Now
I'm going to make the pee fall out.
make the pee fall out.
Yeah.
Allow it to fall out, and we will be back in a minute with more
Of
Free Dude Show.
this show.
All right.
Plus one. Plus one.
Plus one.
Plus one dude. Let's get fishy
and
deep in
welcome back.
And welcome back to welcome back to Columbus Days, a big fat sham.
Welcome back to Nazi eugenics.
Yeah, our conversations took quite a turn during the
They
break.
did.
First, it started with eating Dave's nuts, which were fantastic.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you gotta tell the Wallmans to bring those back.
Yeah, so the thing is, when they brought those initially, it was because there was like this massive surplus at the warehouse,
I'm gonna
and the
need
owner
more of
was
those.
just giving them away to employees. Mm-hmm. I don't know if we can get large quantities of
Fuck
those
did you
again.
just say to me? Those were so good.
We got to take a picture of the can. Remember the brand, because I
You're
don't
gonna
even know
love
how
my
to get
nuts.
My brand!
those. You're gonna love my nuts.
Yeah.
All right. So, getting into this week's topic.
Yeah.
Yes,
Which everything
Yes.
we seem to be talking about kind of ties into it.
Yes.
It can be tied into it.
we did talk about a lot of weird history.
We
shit.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the topic here of unpopular opinions.
Okay.
topic.
Okay.
So,
All right.
So basically, let's talk about stuff that would really piss a lot of the people off.
that we
try to
believe.
lose
Yes, that you
everybody.
personally
Something that we
believe.
hold.
Something that you believe that's definitely would be considered taboo.
right.
That you definitely wouldn't just tell people about if you were face to face. But being that we're going to be on the internets,
Yes.
we can do that since we're just faceless demons.
I say that Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was not nearly as bad as everyone said it was.
Ooh.
I'm triggered.
Somewhere, someone's going.
Triggered.
Just watch the unsubscribe button get clicked.
See, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
You're there's a fourth Indiana Jones movie. It's coming out.
Fifth, right?
Fifth.
No, well, no.
I
travel
see.
back in time some years.
Yeah.
There's a
Come
fourth
back in
Indiana
time
Jones
with me.
movie. There's a fourth
So at
Indiana
this
Jones
point, there's
movie.
only 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
And those three are like, you don't even have to mention the character's name for people to know what Temple of Doom, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Last Crusade are.
right.
They are integral parts of American movie culture. That scene with the rolling boulder from Raiders has been referenced and parodied, and it's something when you see it you immediately know.
You
It's
could
super
never have
iconic.
seen the movie and you
Yeah.
know the boulder scene.
Yeah, it's super iconic.
that is a goddamned high bar to reach.
Yeah, a high bar that you have to somehow jam Shia LaBeouf over.
Now, for the record, I'm not saying it's flawless. I'm not saying Crystal Skull is flawless. It's got plenty of problems. I will never be able to drink enough alcohol to forget about the fucking CGI monkey vine swinging scene. But
I haven't seen this movie.
I actually haven't either. So
It's-
I have heard plenty of bad things.
Yeah.
it's not as bad as people say.
It's not
it is.
horrible. I don't think it's horrible. It's a Spielberg movie, so it can't be horrible.
Yeah, it can't be that terrible.
No, we have this thing now where like, you know, oh, it ruined the franchise. No, it didn't.
No.
Raiders is not any less of a good movie. It's not any less
I'm not gonna go that
of
far.
a masterpiece
Yeah.
because of the existence of Crystal Skull.
Yeah,
So,
why do people think the movie they don't like can somehow retroactively destroy
Right,
a
yeah.
thing they
It-
already like?
The Star Wars
ruined my
prequel.
childhood.
Yeah, the
doesn't-
Star Wars prequels didn't ruin my childhood. I just don't watch them.
Yeah.
this goes
the Star
double-
Wars prequels were your childhood. If
Right,
you want to get real
exactly.
specific,
Yeah, sure.
This goes double for a movie like an Indiana Jones movie that isn't serial. You don't have to watch the original 3 in any particular order
Right.
to get them. You know,
There's not one coherent story.
Right.
Or
Kind of
one
like
progressive
James
story.
Bond, for that matter.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can
You
kind of
could
just
pick up
hop
any
right
Bond
in,
movie anywhere.
and you know what's going on. Yeah.
yeah. The fact that On Her Majesty's Secret Service exists doesn't mean that Goldfinger is suddenly a terrible movie.
Right. Exactly.
You know, it's the idea of like, oh, this ruined the franchise. No, it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It didn't ruin the franchise.
That's melodrama.
yeah.
Now, having said that, I mean, you got to admit, right? I mean, it is significantly lower than the others.
It's the weakest of the 4 movies.
It is the weakest.
by far. But if you just want a movie where Indiana Jones punches communists and gets ancient things, then
It's a feel-good movie
It's
for you.
it's a good movie. There's one bit where there's one bit involving a blowgun that I'm not going to spoil for you, but it is hilarious and it's classic indie, and I it's better to experience organically because it's one of those things. It's like the propeller hitting the muscle Nazi. You know, it's one of those things that just makes you go, oh,
Nice.
It's a perfectly fine movie. It's not any more ridiculous than Raiders, honestly. It's just it does come on, you know, in that unfortunate era when CGI was both heavily relied on and way too obvious.
Yeah.
yeah.
too obvious and not flashy enough to justify it.
Right.
I guess I should say, because Pacific Rim, for instance, is one that it's what, like 75 to 80% CGI. I bet,
but it justifies it because there's just humongous fucking robots fighting humongous fucking monsters.
Because it's fucking awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost a little unfair to be like a 20-something or like in your early 30s and have vivid and fond memories of like the Batman animated series and the Justice League animated series, and then turn up your nose at CGI. There's not really much of a difference. If you present it in the right way and you use it in the right way, then it's powerful.
Yeah.
You can use it in the wrong way too.
Sure.
No, definitely.
Say here's
Michael Bay.
My problem with my problem with CGI is that people will, and I think this started with George Lucas. People will choose it as opposed to just filming and spend way more money as opposed to filming on a traditional set.
But on the other end, audiences also tend to use it as a scapegoat for why they didn't like a certain movie.
That's true. That's true. You gotta give me something more than just that, right? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
yeah, there's better reasons to hate movies than there's just too much animated shit on the screen.
Yeah.
Right.
You got to look deeper.
Well, here's the thing.
Like Avatar, like who's gonna bitch at Avatar that there was too much CG?
Yeah, right.
How else are you going to do that
Right.
kind of a
So like,
story?
I'm sorry, did you want this to be a good movie?
Yeah, right.
Here's my beef with CG. It's like it's way too often like a shortcut, a cost-effective shortcut from the money men, to like.
Is it though?
I think a lot
Anymore.
of
I mean, well, I
Nowadays.
guess maybe nowadays.
as opposed to like there's things you could do in CG cheaper than you could do by building an elaborate set
Oh,
and
yeah.
having like the thing actually there.
I'm gonna while we're talking about this, I'm gonna quote Plinkett and say, "The human eye is especially good at detecting fakeness."
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be able to pick that out in a scene where it doesn't belong, where it doesn't make sense. We're gonna be able to tell.
That's one of my favorites when they have
Except for the times when we can't.
Yeah,
when they have real elements mixed with CG.
Yeah.
When they mix them so well that you really can't tell.
sure.
The new Star Wars movies are pretty good for that.
They are.
They use real sets, real locations a whole lot.
I think the movie 300 is a good example of how to do it
Yeah.
right, because they had to create that theme.
You enhance real shots with CGI.
Exactly.
right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this.
Trying to find 300 guys with that good of abs.
Except Gerard Butler.
Except Gerard Butler,
Yeah,
right.
unless you cloned him.
I don't know. I mean, many of the lines in the movie, the badass one-liners, are historically accurate.
They're true. As I say, the Spartans
So
actually said that.
It wouldn't shock me to find like they actually got 300 guys with rippling abs.
Yeah.
Put out a casting call like, we're looking for cut guys.
Yeah.
There's gonna be
Nothing
we're looking for the Hollister models. Just anyone who worked at Hollister.
Just looking for jack dudes to come and hang out with us one day. There's going to be a camera involved. Nothing sexual.
Kick some dirty Persians.
we need you to
Nothing
you to wear
sexual.
this loincloth
Nothing sexual.
and we're gonna film you.
We're gonna film you. Rest assured.
Nothing sexual.
We need you to sign this release.
I will say this. I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or not. I think Rogue One was as good as Episode 7 and better than Episode 8.
I'd say Rogue One it's definitely the best. I'd say that the best movie since the original 3.
Yeah.
I would even put it in the same category as probably the original 3. It was I enjoyed it that much.
Yeah. I think it was an incredibly good movie.
Yes,
I think
it was
It was very good.
it immediately followed Episode 7, which was super rad.
So-
And everyone was still high on that. So it kind of got compared to like the first Star Wars movie in years that people were really jazzed about.
I don't know if that's. I don't know how unpopular that is though, because like Episode 8, they did try to do a bit too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can talk at length about.
Yeah.
Star
I don't
Wars.
think we ever really did.
We did. We will. We will.
I don't think we ever fully dished on
I don't think
Episode
we did,
8.
but we will.
Yeah.
I will tell you this. Okay, so I like to. Red Letter Media is one of my favorite YouTube channels, which we've hyped up on the show before.
They tell me how to feel about movies.
Exactly.
So
They tell me how to feel about movies. I will say the Rogue One review that Mike Stacklasa did as Harry Plinkett. The reasons that he disliked those parts of the movie were the reasons that I like those parts of the movie.
Yeah.
So his big complaint was we don't get time to learn anything about the characters. They're just kind of thrown at us and we don't care. And I say, yes, that's the point. We don't have to know who they are. They're nameless. They were up until that point nameless, faceless people, and now they are at the end of the movie as well. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the whole point.
This story wasn't about their personal development.
It was
their
about
relationship.
Exactly.
It was about the plot.
The plot.
How war just chews you up and you're gone.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't need character development beyond that. I think the story, I don't think it's a story that necessarily needed to be told, but I am happy that they told it.
Yes.
You know, it was cool.
I will say I hated CG Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yeah, I did not like CG Tarkin.
It wasn't comfortable. CG Carrie Fisher was arguably worse.
Oh yeah, it was.
She looked very
honestly,
plasticky.
It was so quick that it didn't matter to me.
I know, but it's well, I don't know.
I mean, you only see her face for a total of like
Yeah.
7 or 8
It was
seconds.
quick.
Yeah.
Tarkin is on screen. They could have just as easily found somebody who looks like him.
There's
young.
plenty of old, wrinkly dudes
Right.
out there.
Yeah, they could have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They didn't deny an actor that chance.
Especially since because of episode 2, we know that the Death Star had been in production at that point for like at least 30 years. Right? Like well before like the birth of Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
So they could have gotten like a younger person to be like the young Grand Moff Tarkin. You know who I would pick to be a young Grand Moff Tarkin? Someone with a very skinny lower face and a very big head. Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
you know?
God, that would have been. I was going to say Andy Dick.
No,
Get the fuck out.
Nope, Andy Dick here, everybody.
not Andy Dick.
Remember me from the 90s? Anyway, I'm here on Star Wars.
Can you tell me why the Death Star is behind schedule?
Hey, it's me, Andy Dick. You might remember me from killing Phil Hartman.
Right.
Anyway, here to make you smile for an hour and a half.
Anyway, yeah. Is that really an unpopular opinion, though?
I don't know. That's why I'm saying I did. I'm saying I don't know.
I think it was better than episode 8. I don't think episode 8 is as bad as you think it is.
Oh, I don't think it's that bad.
But there's
It
3.
wasn't as good as 7.
Yeah, it wasn't as good as
But I
7.
don't
as
think
good
it-
as 7.
I don't think it was as bad as people gave it flack for.
Oh yeah, like there's a lot of hate around the movie, and actually, there's a very unpopular opinion. I think I think episode 8 was fine.
Yeah, it was a perfectly fine movie.
fine.
Yeah,
It was a competent film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know what it is there's a differential reaction to when, like, remember when you saw episode 7 and
And you're juiced for it.
that first moment where you realized, holy shit, lightsabers are cool again. Lightsaber
right.
fights are good again. Like
They
that.
feel like a tool and not like a
they're
a cartoon. They
they're
feel
a-
like a utility device.
They're a plot device. They're there to accentuate the tension between the characters.
I'm just happy people swig them like normal people again.
yeah. There's no more fancy like Jim Cotta or whatever. You know.
They actually hack at each other.
They
like,
swing them dumb like you'd swing a thing if you were. You know,
right. Like if you weren't a weird Shaolin monk. You're just
It's like drunken bar fight with
Yeah.
lightsabers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, unpopular opinions.
Yeah. Anywho.
What else we got?
All right.
Well, we originally started with off air where Chris was pretty much saying, I believe, quote unquote, "fuck Steve Jobs."
Yeah, fuck Steve Jobs. Let's get down to the meat. I'm gonna
You see how that all kind of
stall
ties
for
in?
30 seconds. Let me go grab a cold beer for this
Sure.
before I tap into this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this.
I think it's worth mentioning, like growing up.
Grab me one.
Yeah, grab me one. Yep. Just bring a bunch of beer. Yep. Please. Thank you.
Like growing up until I finally settled into Windows, like, you know, around about college or so.
Yeah.
I had exposure to both Mac and Windows. You know, I mean, you remember the
Little winky computer guy.
yeah, you remember the OS wars of, you know, the mid 90s, you know,
Yeah.
where, you know, one of the popular things was having Bill Gates photoshopped into like a Third Reich propaganda poster, you know.
It's funny. It's funny. He had so much hate for him back in the day, and we had no idea how evil business was going to be in our lifetime.
Right. Yeah. Compared to now, it seems like oh yes, please, thank you. It seems perfectly innocent now. You know.
Yeah.
It was pretty much just
Bill.
It pretty much just boiled down to fanboyism in retrospect. You know.
Yeah.
But like even in those days, I thought, like, you know, I always felt like, Mac doesn't let me do the kinds of things I want to do with a computer.
Mac always felt to me like, maybe because my experience of Mac was like, in school, because the school districts bought a ton of Macs.
Yeah.
Right? So they felt like a Mac.
It was just no one else did.
Right?
Yeah.
It was the same at Canfield. We had Power Macs running OS 8.
Like Macs were for like a very select set of like
Rich people.
no, like I mean like
Back in the day, yeah. I
like
guess
tasks, like some very narrow tasks. But like a PC was a utility device. It was like you could
Like if you wanted to use Word, you couldn't use Mac.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the advantage. That is the advantage in retrospect of Mac OSs is that they're very purpose built.
Yeah.
And they're purpose built in a very, very good way.
Sure.
Yeah.
It took me a long. I'm going to take a quote from my one of our Apple reps at the store. He told me when he was teaching me about them, which I had to have somebody teach me the stuff that you can do that is Mac specific,
Right.
That you can't do on a PC. For me to get it a little bit, he said nobody who comes in to buy a computer is a Mac fan until they have one. So it's one of those things that you got to learn. And conversely, people buy them and don't like them. That's fine.
Yeah.
But everybody who is a Mac fan had to become one.
I've been wanting to virtualize a Mac OS on my Windows PC.
Yeah.
Because
They call it a Hackintosh.
yeah, for nostalgia's sake.
Yeah.
I really, for all its shortcomings, for the fact that I can't modify a Mac the way I can a Windows PC, I enjoyed using the Mac OS.
Especially these days, the difference between Mac and Windows seems to me that like a Mac is built in a way to tell you it loves you. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it. Like it's like everything about it is, you said friendly, and maybe even friendly to a fault.
I feel like from OS 8 on, they were designed to be like as user friendly as possible. Like your grandma could get onto one and know what each thing does.
Yeah. Like a whole computer that's AOL.
Yeah.
Right. Right. The system restore mechanic is the time machine.
Yeah.
That's a pretty reasonably, I guess, apt description of what it actually does.
Yeah.
But it, if you want to get into the guts of the thing, it's much harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, specifically, people who always said viruses were your Mac was safer from
I can
viruses.
assure you that's not true.
That
is bullshit.
I'm so happy now
that's not true.
that Mac has reached the market share required to now be a target for all that shit, so they can stop saying that. Because it used to be like, why would I code a virus for the Mac? Because only a small number of people use them.
I can assure you we have just as many Macs that come in as we do PCs.
Yeah, I mean that's changed since they've got enough of them on the market that now it's like a reasonable device to attack.
Right. So I will tell you, everybody is constantly sucking Steve Jobs' dick. They're just his little dead, gray-skinned.
The ghost of Steve Jobs' dick is in a lot of
not even
mouths.
circumcised because it has a turtleneck on.
They just
Steve Jobs' dick has a turtleneck.
It does.
I love that so much. That's my new headcanon. I never thought about it, but now I'm thinking about it.
unpopular opinion.
Think different.
Think different. Unpopular opinion. Apple computers are fine. Steve Jobs is was, thank God. He was a royal piece of shit. He was a fucking asshole, which is why they chased him out of the company in the first place the first time. He was a fucking bastard. He was nothing more than
It's terrible to people.
Didn't he have like an illegitimate daughter that he kept trying to disown?
Right. Yeah. And then, so here's the thing. If you watch, here's the same plot of every one of the like 4 Steve Jobs movies that came out in the past 6 years, right?
Yeah.
Steve Jobs is a misunderstood businessman who starts an empire, and sure, he does some bad stuff, but he's ultimately this gigantic genius. That's the final takeaway: is that he's this gigantic genius. No, he's not. He's a fucking piece of shit. He's a yes man marketer, kind of in the same way that Ray Kroc was with the McDonald's brothers.
Yeah,
he was the face of this thing, and he knew how to get stuff done as a marketing team. But as far as like doing anything.
Actual innovation. He kind of like, cracked the whip at the IT people who worked for him and said, all right, I want this. Make it happen or you're fired. Yeah. That's Steve Jobs' legacy. Yeah, I think so.
And going bald prematurely. That's Steve Jobs. He was a fucking royal piece of shit, man. He wasn't a good guy. The only reason that Steve Jobs was in Apple after they fucking shit canned him in the early 90s, late 80s.
Yeah, because he was working on that next computer that failed during that time and all that. Yeah.
The only reason he's back is because the company needed a face, and he was charismatic enough to make it happen. Yeah, aside from that,
he worked before. Like in general, when Apple was doing well, he worked for them.
Right. He was the face. He didn't do anything. I don't know why everybody's always blowing him like he's this gigantic genius. He's not a fucking genius.
Because he wore a turtleneck. He's clearly an artist with programming.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Fuck off.
May as well have been a striped shirt and a beret.
He was he was a piece of shit father. He was a piece of shit boss. And piece of shit.
I'm just going to go ahead and assume he wasn't that good of a lover.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to throw that out there. I'll bet he was robotic, and I bet he was angry. The kind of guy who would ask for a sandwich when he's done.
He would just tell her that money's on the dresser.
Yeah, that kind of guy. He was a class A piece of shit, and he didn't do anything. And everybody always touts him like he's some kind of god. Fuck Steve Jobs. Fuck him to death. Wozniak, on the other hand.
Yeah, that's the thing is I think you're right. And I think it's a testament to the fact that some people pay attention that Woz is still an internet celebrity, and it's still revered by the kind of people that really follow tech.
Right?
Yeah. Woz is still the dude.
Now I'm unfortunately because I'm a Windows fanboy. I don't have much experience with Apple, but what specifically did Woz do for Apple? That
he was a hardware engineer. Yeah, he was a software engineer in the early days.
Yeah, he did both.
He was the brains behind it.
He did. When you the first Apple computers. That was all Wozniak.
Built in Woz's garage.
Built in his garage, right. Yeah. Wow. He built the board. I mean, he built the initial board.
It was made out of the first Apple computer was made out of wood. You can still find pictures of this thing. Like they built it. It looked really goofy. Mm-hmm. And Woz was instrumental in making it actually happen. Everything that happened afterward, all the growth of the company, the marketing, the pitch, that's Steve Jobs.
Right.
Yeah. Steve Jobs positioned the thing.
He's the face.
Yeah. At a time where, they came from nothing in the middle of, an industry that already had giants.
Right.
That's Jobs.
Right.
Give that to him.
Sure. I think he's one of the most brilliant marketing minds of our time.
I think he identified something that was lacking in the home computer, and he exploited the hell out of it.
But to call him a genius of tech is it's a gross miscategorization.
Yeah, he's a spin master.
Wozniak was a genius of tech. Even Gates, to some level, was a genius of tech.
Gates was a lot smarter than Jobs.
Gates absolutely was.
Yeah.
Was I hear Gates used to fucking throw shit in board meetings. There is a real strong theory that he's got Asperger's also.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
On some level, a lot of these guys that are driven and accomplish.
Yeah,
they got a lot of traits.
And what's more, Bill Gates in a famous CNN interview with Connie Chung can jump over a chair from a standing position.
Right.
Like a boss.
That's my favorite.
He did it.
He did it. He cheated. He got a little running start. That's all right.
Yeah, just his ability. Dude, is there anything more revealing about the days of the early tech boom than Connie Chung had to sit and watch Bill Gates hop over a chair as if it was fucking newsworthy.
Right.
Yeah.
And go, wow. That's how important those guys were.
Yeah.
I've got another unpopular opinion.
Let's hear it.
But I think I've got a really strong justification for it. Call of Duty's a good game.
Yeah.
It's not the fact that
any particular Call of Duty or just the franchise
just
at large?
Any of them. The fact that it repeats itself doesn't matter so much. It's the fact that it promptly and accurately rewards the player for the things they do. It's incredibly satisfying and fun to play.
Didn't they introduce the kill cam?
They did, actually.
Oh, did they? Yeah, they might have.
That's like one of,
I think, right?
Call of Duty, the Call of Duty 2, the second one.
It was like one of the launch titles for the
2005, Xbox 360.
That's like
I've never seen a demo for that in Best Buy, actually.
Yeah, I have that game.
One of the most useful innovations in gaming as far as first-person shooters are concerned.
Yeah.
Ever.
It's not a bad game by any stretch.
No, I don't think so.
The fact that it repeats the kind of the formula and the mechanics year after year, yeah, I get it. But then again,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
We grew up during, the years of Sonic the Hedgehog. There's arguably not many functional differences between Sonic 1, 2, and 3.
I would argue that Sonic is not good. Unpopular opinion.
Wait, explain yourself.
I don't think Sonic the Hedgehog is good.
How so?
I don't think any of them are playable. I don't think any of them are fun to play, and I usually put them down.
I am inclined to actually agree with you.
I'm not a Sonic fan.
If you
wait. Well, what do you mean they're not playable? Like what?
They don't have replayability.
I put them down. I don't finish them. I get frustrated too early, and I put them down, and I don't want to pick them back up.
There's not a whole lot of dimension to it. It's basically it is the same thing over and over again.
He's too fast, and he controls too slippery in the early games, and then the other games when they went 3D are too confusing.
Well, okay,
you put it side to side with any of the early Mario games, it can't compare at all.
Are you going to tell me the first Super Mario Brothers wasn't slippery as hell?
Yes, but you could master the first Super Mario.
It was manageable.
It was it was. See, it felt like part of a better control. You know what I mean?
Now I'm going to take your side on the 3D Sonics. They're not all good. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle though was really good.
That game was really good. Yes, that was. Because that didn't follow the normal Sonic formula.
And I think in much the same way that the Mario franchise found ways to work around the fact that you're controlling a jumping character in 3D. Yeah. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle had the homing attack, which if you change it in creative ways, the more creative you got with it, the better your score was. And they found a way to successfully get around you're not just trying to jump on an enemy in 3D constantly. There have been bad Sonic games. I didn't care much for Sonic 3D Blast. Sonic Spinball, I think, is very underrated.
Sonic Spinball's cool.
Sonic Spinball is really fun.
The best Sonic games that I've played have nothing to do with the core mechanics of the original game.
I disagree. I think Sonic 3 and Knuckles is one of the finest platformers I've ever played.
I can't.
It's been a long time since I actually
played
Sonic.
It's been a long time.
Now I gotta go fast. Wait.
Here's what I'll say about Sonic. The parts about it that are really fun are just kind of on rails. Which is to say that, like, when I'm having a great time playing Sonic, it's usually because I spin dashed into a bumper that made me do all this crazy cool stuff where I'm moving everywhere. But I'm just experiencing that. And all the times where I have to manually do stuff, I'm kind of bored and slow.
I can see that, but I have a challenge to that, which is that the most fun part of Sonic games is the boss fights.
Yes.
The boss fights in Sonic games tend to be really, really good.
Now, see, I barely ever made it that far. I was like, that's the problem is I end up putting those early games down because like in Mario, I know how to kill an enemy. In Sonic, I feel like if I run into an enemy, even if I'm the spinball thing, I always end up losing rings somehow.
Yeah,
like, I never
like a 50-50 chance. I never
feel like the hit box, not the hit box, but I never feel like my attacks are working. Yeah. I always feel like it's sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
The speed is like variable at which you have to hit a guy while dashing to rip through him.
Yeah, and there are enemies that that have spikes on their sides or whatever to prevent an attack like that. Mm-hmm. And it does certainly take a bit of trial and error, which might also be why unless you've beaten Dark Souls, I'm the only one at this table who's beaten Dark Souls.
Yeah, that's right. You were the dankest. Dank Souls master.
But see, like that's the thing. I'm only good at the single player. I can't play online. I'm terrible. I get killed every time. But I can beat bosses. I'm really good at beating bosses. And the Sonic games, their boss fights tend to be really, really good.
Yeah. I just discovered an opinion that I know I hold, and I feel a little bad about it because I really wish it wasn't the case.
We should get rid of all the Mexicans.
Here it is.
This is unpopular opinion.
Here it is. As much as I wish it were not the case, I don't actually like the Baconator that much.
The Baconator? You know what? You
Why?
need something cold.
I'm curious why.
Here's the thing.
Don't even say too much bacon.
Realistic? Nope. Not a problem with bacon.
Too much mayo?
Not too much mayo. The whole sandwich at large is dry, and it's mostly just a giant mass of beef in the middle.
I would agree with that.
Nothing to break it up.
You need the cold of the lettuce and the onion. You need the cold.
Yeah, you really
agree
do.
with that.
Which overall, to me, is why the Whopper as a sandwich is just better.
I second that opinion.
I feel bad because the
second that
Baconator
opinion.
should be my favorite sandwich. On paper, it's got it all, baby.
Now you put bacon on a Whopper and we're done.
They
We're
have the
fucking
Bacon
done.
Whopper King.
They have the Bacon Whopper King.
I believe so.
Now,
Fuck.
Well, they've also got the Bacon King, which has the advantage of having no vegetables.
what?
Yeah, the Bacon King. It's
Where's
just
my phone?
it's just a round Baconator.
Yeah.
I need to look up the Bacon King.
So you're telling me that their Baconator does cut corners?
Yeah, look at
Shit, them's fighting words, man. Don't let the Wendy's Twitter get a hold of you.
That's the thing. I really hate to say it because as much as I love Wendy's and I think their sandwiches are probably better on average, the Whopper beats the Baconator. Even a straight up normal Whopper.
I'll give you that. I mean,
I'll give you that. I agree.
God, the Bacon King looks so good.
the Baconator for how great you can't
okay.
argue with the taste of a good Baconator because
good.
again Wendy's beef is again pretty much the top quality in fast food.
I've heard tell that it's always fresh and
Never frozen.
it's never frozen.
Never.
But how do you transport beef without freezing it?
How does they even?
33 degrees.
No, yeah.
So here's the benchmark. Here's what you got to do. You got to go to Wendy's and you know what you got to do. You got to go to Wendy's and you got to order a Baconator with the cold stuff, like depending on what you like.
I'm sure they do it. There's no way they wouldn't do it.
Oh, they'll definitely do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Have you gotten it with just extra ketchup and mayo?
No, here's the thing is I always end up putting more ketchup on it.
Me too.
Yeah,
Right.
Me too.
Me too. I always order with
In
extra.
fact,
Hashtag me too. Hashtag me too.
They might not even. I can't remember if they even put ketchup on it as the base sandwich.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
It's like a
They do.
ketchup.
They do.
mix
It's
the
ketchup and mayo. Yeah.
And it's just like I want it to be my favorite.
The test is we need to go. Like I don't like tomato. We need to go and get. Like,
Yeah.
I would put bacon or lettuce and onion on mine.
You gotta do the
test.
yes. And on top of that, like
I don't like onion, but I do like tomato on my burger, so I would go with the lettuce and tomato. And I'm sure they do it, and I'm sure if I asked really, really nicely, they'd put some of that Asiago cheese on there instead.
You're telling me a quality establishment like Wendy's wouldn't custom make your burger?
I'm sure
This is quality
and
we're
I'm
talking
sure
about.
they would, as long as they weren't busy. I'm sure they would.
They would do what you wanted.
Yeah.
All right, I got an unpopular fast food opinion for you.
sure,
Okay.
let's hear it.
Hothead burritos are better than Chipotle burritos.
I agree.
I disagree.
You disagree?
I disagree.
You are wrong.
You're wrong. No,
I
you're
have
wrong.
heard this from few people. I have yet to have hotheads.
I have an argument. for
Hotheads has more options. They have hotter sauces.
Yes.
And they got pineapple.
and better
they do.
sauces, I would say.
I will.
Sure.
I will also jump on this. I don't know if you've had Moe's. I prefer Moe's over Chipotle.
Ooh, I
never-
have not had Moe's. I want to try Moe's.
Moe's sounds like a sub shop. No, not a burrito. Is that a burrito place?
No, Moe's Southwest Grill.
That's the same thing. Yeah, it's a.
Oh. I've never
It's
been.
a little cheaper. than
Where's the
Chipotle.
closest Moe's?
They're like out in Akron,
Yeah,
Canton
it's-
area.
Okay, I worked in Akron. I've never been to Moe's. Where do you go out there?
Chapel Hill.
Chapel Hill?
Yeah.
We got to hook up later, and you got to tell me where to go to Moe's.
We'll go to Moe's. We'll go Monday. Get a Moe Monday.
Mo Monday.
It's like just $1 off any bowl or burrito, but their bowls are fucking good.
Nice.
And you get chips for free with every
Oh,
order.
look at that.
Yeah,
Now we're talking
they're not
for
butt fucking
free.
you on chips.
Here's
And you can get as many as you want. You
I
can sit
hate-
there and just eat chips. They got
I-
like 6 different salsas you can
Oh
get.
my god.
Here's a good topic
Really?
to debate over. Is the bowl or the burrito better? I say the bowl because you can mix the shit up and you don't bite into the thing and get like a mouthful of sour cream.
If you would have asked me a year ago, I would have said burrito. I say that it doesn't matter. It depends on where you're at.
Yes.
Home,
Chipotle, I get the burrito.
Advanced answer.
Moe's, I get the bowl.
yeah.
Okay.
When I'm at work in my car, bowl. When I'm at home, I want the burrito.
On that note, this is why I will.
Yeah,
this
let's
is
see.
why I'll stick my argument for Chipotle over hotheads. Every single time I get a hothead burrito, it's like all these delicious fillings sitting on top of a wad of impenetrable rice that the sauce doesn't break through. I don't know if they're not.
You're not getting the right
rice.
sauce.
But I've had the same experience at Chipotle though.
I have not. Always the rice breaks apart neatly. It's like kind of wet and it just separates.
Let me ask you this: what kind of sauce do you get at Hotheads?
I got the hottest sauce the last time I was there.
So you need to do that, but you also need to have them put the Hothead sauce on there. There's your problem. You need. I'm serious.
Wait, does it break through the rice?
You need to get the Hothead sauce as a base, and then you pick what you really want as your sauce.
Have
'cause
you
the
tried-
Hothead sauce is an accent?
Have you tried
Trust
turning the
me.
burrito off and on again?
Seriously, you got to. They'll tell you if you go to Hotheads, they'll be like, you got to get Hothead sauce on that and mix it together because that's what you do when you go to Hotheads.
I really feel like I need to try hotheads.
You do. The rewards program at Hotheads is the best rewards
It's
program
awesome.
in
You
the
get-
fast food industry.
You get like 10 burritos, you get a free one,
Since
right?
the Subway rewards
Well, no,
card.
it's every time you go to Hotheads and you buy a burrito, you get $1 on your card, and then
Yeah.
you get to use it. You can cash
Whenever
the
you
extra
want.
dollar in whenever you want. I like to wait, so I get like 2 burritos for free.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. When you go to McDonald's and you get anything, usually you can fill out their survey and you get a free breakfast sandwich.
Oh, sweet God!
You just
griddle?
You just write down any fucking number you want
Yeah.
on that thing. They don't check it.
Right.
And then when you get your free sandwich, they give you a receipt with another survey on it. There was probably
brilliant.
like 6 months
That-
where we just went to lunch and we were running on the same
That
one
is-
sandwich we bought.
That is a real goddamn desperation move right there.
That's
Tell you
brilliant.
What. What about some unpopular opinions that aren't related to food?
Sorry.
We're four fat dudes sitting around talking about food yet again.
We did a food chunk. We always do a food
I don't know
chunk.
how unpopular this is going to be at this table. Republicans are stupid and too powerful.
Don't like it.
Liberals are big fat whiny puss babies
Don't like
and
it.
have no balls.
Yes.
I don't like either one.
Yeah.
I
think
disagree
we
with both.
We need
I
to go
do.
to like
Yeah.
a 6-party system.
Yeah. I don't like black and white politics, man.
No.
It's,
Yeah. I
don't either.
it's never right.
Especially blacks in politics. Oh my God.
Ben Carson. Ew.
Oh, how about that dude? Okay, the fact that he's black isn't relevant except that you said that. But how about that
Ben
dude?
Carson is black and he has the audacity.
Did you
He has the
notice?
audacity to have a doctorate.
Did you notice he's black? My God. No. So
Oh my goodness.
this dude, I can't remember his name. That he got in trouble for coming off as an anti-Semite.
The Reverend Al Sharpton.
Mel Gibson.
No, it's like some black
Anyone
congressman.
in,
whose name I
anyone
can't
in
think of.
Nazi Germany from 1935 to like
Black,
1945.
black congressman.
No, this dude, I can't think of his name, but he's a sitting congressman, and he got in trouble for saying something about like saying and seeming to actually believe that like the Rothschilds control the weather or something weird.
What?
Yeah. Right, so here's the deal. Recently, they took him to the Holocaust Museum in D.C. as a part of like a coordinated media effort, like a PR firm trying to rehabilitate his anti-Semite image, right?
Okay.
Now, when he was there,
Didn't know they had those.
yes, no, a PR person will fix your image however you want.
yeah,
If you
absolutely.
pay someone enough money, they'll take care of you.
But like
Particularly
to hear it
in
referred to as rehab is really jarring.
Well, yeah, image rehabilitation is like an industry, dude. Like how people see
Holy
you can be
shit.
fixed with time and effort, and someone will do that. So
Shit, that sounds easy. I could do that.
Yeah.
I'm on
really
the I'm
does.
on the internet a lot. I know what image is.
So this guy, they took him to a Holocaust museum, and he was looking at an image, like a photo on the wall with his
Yeah.
tour guide, and the photo is of a girl wearing a sign around her neck, being marched around by Nazi stormtroopers, right? And the sign says, "I am a German girl who allowed myself to be defiled by a Jew," and they're marching her through the streets. This dude's question is, well, it looks like they're protecting her, right? And they were like, no, I think she's being publicly shamed. That's what is actually happening, right? And then a follow-up to that was one of his aides asked a question about this other photo of like what is clearly a prison camp. I know you're laughing at aides.
He said one of his aides.
One of his aides. one of the many aides he has.
I pictured like a lesion on his shoulder.
Like, hey,
excuse me. No, I think she's being shamed.
I knew I wasn't going to be able to say that.
Jesus Christ.
But anyway, one of his assistants, there you go, was looking at a photo of a prison camp. And that guy's question was, so it's like a gated community, right?
Yes.
What the fuck?
One that you just can't get in or out and have no free will.
Yeah, one you can't escape from.
One for very skinny Jewish people.
How come none of them are wearing boots?
They must be on Atkins diets.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's
How
crazy,
can anyone be this out of touch?
I know. The best part of all of this is that in the middle of their tour with this Congress guy, he left.
Yeah.
They lost him. So they had to finish the tour without him, and they spotted him later like on the sidewalk on his phone. In the middle of having his image rehabbed, he just kind of left. I don't know why I'm telling you this. Something jump-started my
Sorry. Well, I was talking about how liberals are whiny crybaby pussies. And,
right.
Republicans are all dumb and too powerful.
You know what? You know what the problem is? It's not sexy to gravitate to the middle ground.
Yes.
It's not sexy.
It's true.
It's not sexy at all. You know,
To have a normal, level-headed opinion on things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. Yeah.
no, it's you suddenly become sexy to the people who think you're like a revolutionary free thinker.
Extremism sells.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It really does.
It really does.
You know what was a big revolution? A big revelation for me was finding out.
Sells what?
I don't know, Pogs.
No, I will not. I don't want to see your Pog collection. Nobody knows what that is. No.
Hogs.
Remind me to talk about Pogs later.
Okay.
Remind me next time I come over, I'll bring all my paws.
Right.
Remember that the guy I told you my favorite new Twitter guy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk about him later. He's my recommendation. I'm writing it down right
Yeah,
now.
do it.
Okay.
So yeah, well, like, where was I going with this? I had a thought in my head here. And I just-
Actually, while we're getting to the pandering, it'll be another unpopular opinion. I am really sick of the American flag everywhere.
Yeah, can we talk about that?
And I am extremely sick of the national anthem as a whole.
Me too.
It's not a good song.
It's
Hashtag me too.
Let's say this right now. The American flag, like look at the flags of other developed nations. Italy, a stripe of green, white, and red.
Yeah.
Spain, stripes of red and gold with a crest in the center. You know, like Norway, Sweden, Finland, their flags are like, it's the same design with different colors.
Now we have a bajillion stripes over here.
We on the other hand have the most garish and fucking ugly thing. Like, it's from a design standpoint, it is the worst.
Yeah, fuck you, Betsy Ross.
Now
50 stars? Are you fucking
You
kidding me?
decided to fucking quilt. Now I got to look at these fucking monstrosities everywhere.
Like if I'm living in fucking France raising a kid and they're like, you know, he's in kindergarten. All right, kids, let's draw the French flag. He's just got to do, you know, a red stripe, a white stripe, a blue stripe. You know, you have to color the fucking white stripe. Here in America, we're drawing the flag. You got to do 50 fucking stars. You got to do 50 fucking stripes.
You can't count to 13 yet, let alone 50.
How do you evenly divide 13 into like anything? It's a prime number. It's impossible.
This goes along with it's this fucking. Here's the problem: liberals are pussies, conservatives are assholes. They're all dumb, and they have this blind patriotism about them.
Yep.
Both of them.
Just blind, unjustified patriotism.
Exactly.
Just
I
drives me
wanted
crazy.
to disagree, but the longer I think about this, the part that I really disagreed with was, what do you mean by liberals and conservatives? Or what do you mean by Republicans and Democrats? The way we use those words is really important.
The people you see. That's what I mean.
Yes, the people who
you see.
flaunt.
The people you see, in particular, like people like who hold party positions, like actual elected officials.
Yeah.
Those aren't liberals or conservatives.
I'm talking about
Those
the
are
people. I'm
Democrats
talking
and
about the
Republicans.
people you see on Facebook arguing with each
Oh
other.
yeah.
I'm talking about the average asshole who wants to strike up a conversation at Denny's.
Now, see this is
Ed Nugent versus Barry Sanders.
Exactly.
this is where I try to take some lessons from my dad. My dad is probably about as liberal as you can get, but you wouldn't know it from talking to him.
Yeah.
Morty, excuse me.
If I took lessons from my dad, I would have just left like 20 minutes ago.
Damn, boy.
You might know from being introduced to him, you know, that here's Dr. Reese. He has taught poetry for 30 years at YSU. He's got a ponytail.
Yeah.
You know, you might know from meeting him and being introduced to him that
Right.
that he's pretty strongly liberal, but he doesn't flaunt it. That's the thing.
You can have whatever views you want, just don't flaunt it like that. Don't
right.
be a dick about it.
Well, this is what I meant by
Don't
like
make them like a central part of your. Well, no, except you kind of have to, don't you? Because ultimately politics are supposed to be for the betterment of your countrymen, right?
Here's what I meant when I said like what do we mean when we use those words? Like being a liberal is fine. Being a conservative is fine. I increasingly think being a Democrat or a Republican is stupid.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
You got it. You got it.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. Yeah.
You got it,
Like
man.
being a party
Yeah.
person.
Like I'm liberal on some issues, I'm more conservative on some
Right.
issues. I
Right.
sure as shit don't identify as one fucking
Yeah.
party or anything.
Right.
I used to
Right.
consider myself a Democrat because I used to think that party represented me almost
Exactly.
exclusively. And now here we are in the fun time roller coaster of 2018, and I realize nobody represents me fully.
No.
Right.
No.
The moment that
Only I can represent me fully.
Yeah.
right, exactly. Well, that was the thing. Is like I was a Democrat. I was up until recently a registered Democrat, and I know it doesn't mean anything to unregister as a
Right.
Democrat.
I'm
It's just-
still a registered Democrat.
It's for me.
You're just on
Yeah.
fewer mailing lists.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But it was like a big awakening for me to realize that like okay, I thought. And this is so fucking typical of America, right?
Yeah.
I was a Democrat, right? So I thought I'm the good guy and Republicans are the bad guys, right?
That was how I was had those
Same
values
thing,
instilled
right?
in me too.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
know
when you realize that Democrats can be the bad guys too,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and everybody's just
Oh,
the
yeah.
bad guy,
Yeah. Like,
it's like
there's-
a fucking awakening.
Yeah,
Everybody's
it's bad
a
when
bad
you-
guy.
You know where that happened was in the Bush years. So during like our formative high school years when we started becoming aware of politics and like everyone was saying Bush was doing a bad job. He had the lowest approval ratings of any president in history. That's when it happened. Like that's absolutely when it happened. Like to us, the face of republicanism was like the flag waving George W. Bush, mission accomplished. You know,
Yeah.
When the mission clearly wasn't
F-18s in the
accomplished.
background. You know.
Here's a good example of this phenomenon. Oh, nope, I'm going to spill my beer.
Dave had to take a break for beer queef.
Oh, no. My beer. Oh, no, my beer. Chug, chug.
Yeah, the beer salt.
Beer salt foams beer like crazy.
Yeah, it's because
You don't
it's
say.
salt with lime on it.
This is chemistry.
So a perfect example of this thing is like today I was watching a video about gardening. I've been watching a lot of gardening videos.
What?
I want to get my garden going.
That's all right. I watched NASCAR the other day, so
I came across a guy whose YouTube channel was Reaganite78.
wubble up a dub dub.
Like as in like
Reaganite.
Yes,
Yeah,
Reaganite
okay.
78.
Reganite.
I thought you said like oregano. Like this guy really is into oregano.
He really likes oregano.
Yeah, he's managed to crystallize oregano. It's become oregonite.
So I came across this guy, and I think probably like 4 years ago or longer, I would have seen his name that suggested an affiliation with Ronald Reagan and went like, whatever, fuck you.
Yeah.
And then changed the video.
Right.
Because that's what it means to be so entrenched in like whatever you think
One-sided
your identity
politics
is.
and
Yeah,
everything, yeah.
right. I would have been like, okay, I don't care about this guy.
Yeah.
As it happens, the guy gave me a really interesting idea for how to do compost. He calls it drunken composting, and it involves spraying a combination of beer, cola, and ammonia on grass clippings, which sounds insane, but it makes really good compost.
And crystal meth.
And crystal meth. And a little bit of crystal meth for good measure.
Some good fumes in just want to chill out in your backyard for a while.
But the thing is, I would have totally dismissed that guy back in the days where I used to like consider myself this very narrow sliver
Right.
of a person with a very, I would have blown that guy off. Like, why would I deny myself the advice of anybody?
Yeah.
That's what, like, I feel like that's what 2018 is for me, is like reset.
It totally is. It's like the second you hear someone like voted for Ted Cruz, you just automatically dismiss anything he has to say, and that's not right.
It's not fair. It is a really questionable decision to vote for Ted Cruz.
Sure,
but
it's like, and you also picked Zima.
but if you're like 50 years old, you've generally voted Republican your entire life. Oh shit! Oh, no! Dump it! It's lost! It's lost!
That is, as of right now, that is a bottle of pure foam.
Did the cap just fall off?
And the cap just fell off. And all that beer salt just fell right into the Miller High Life. And it just turned into like a third grade volcano science project. That thing is just erupting like a motherfucker.
No way! I didn't even think that was gonna happen.
Thanks, Texas.
Oh, that is just beer.
Oh man,
That's all my beer salt. It's all gone.
That is the funniest thing since the cookie bucket.
Oh my god.
Oh man, you need another beer.
Yeah, let me get that. Well, there goes the beer. What?
Oh,
What did I miss while I was peeing?
so anyway, I was gonna say, for someone who's been voting Republican for 30 years or whatever, and now is like presented with a choice like, well, do you want this unhinged orange lunatic, or do you want the slightly less unhinged semi-normal looking guy? You probably vote for Ted Cruz.
Yeah. I wouldn't is the answer. I probably wouldn't vote.
Yeah, the trouble is, like, if you are subject to the circumstances of your upbringing, especially of like 30 years of voting, you're probably going to vote along party lines, and it's only been a recent idea now that
You can't jump ship.
right,
so to speak.
you can jump ship. You can. There's an American Communist Party that shows up on every ballot. You can vote for them if you want to.
Do the true American thing and don't vote.
Right.
Yeah, that's the real problem. Is a third of Americans just don't vote. That's the real fucking
Well,
problem.
I almost didn't. I mean, I got to tell you, like, I almost. It was a more. It was
last election. I didn't vote.
I almost didn't. I almost didn't. I had to force myself to go do it.
I didn't vote for our last municipal elections where we got our new mayor, the Right Honorable Jamail Tito Brown, and
Tito.
and I only didn't vote because I forgot. Yeah. I forgot those elections were happening.
Oh my god. Yeah. Well, we have actually, this is maybe a good time to mention it. We have upcoming a ballot initiative in Austintown.
Yeah.
Oh,
To get El Cowboy a Sunday liquor license, and goddamn it,
We were just at El Cowboy
yesterday.
you were just talking about service. El Cowboy's got some fantastic service. They really do. They're
vote yes for El Cowboy.
last night was shitty.
Yeah, they dropped the ball last night. Yes.
oh no.
What happened last night?
She was not happy to be there.
No, she really didn't want to be
She really
there.
didn't want to be working there. She came. She was just like shitty the whole time.
Yeah.
And then fucked up the orders a couple, I mean,
Really?
don't get me wrong, I fucking love El Cowboy.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It was still delicious.
It was
but
incredible.
My meal clearly stated that it came with beans.
Yeah.
And she didn't ask if I wanted black or refried beans. I'm
They
like,
fucked up Trisha's too. I can't remember what was missing.
Really?
I went to
But Trisha's order is always fucked up wherever we go.
I went there Saturday for lunch. The server was maybe a little slow to get to me there. It was like me and 3 other people at the bar, and that's a big bar.
Yeah.
So pretty low capacity. But my lunch was very good.
Yeah.
We went there. Me and my mom went there for lunch one day, and that was the best fucking lunch I've ever had.
Oh, they're so
like
good.
I think that was probably the best
food is
quesadilla
so
ever.
wonderful.
Yeah.
The
So-
food is really good. Like just for like something like you can only just describe as a Tex-Mex place.
Yeah.
Morty.
It's so much better than that.
Yeah.
It is.
So I believe it's May 9th or something like it. Come out and vote if you live in Austintown to get El Cowboy a Sunday booze license, because I think they can
Yes.
serve beer. They can't serve mixed drinks, liquor, or wine.
That's horseshit.
on a Sunday.
Give them their license.
This whole
It's such a stupid rule.
I talked with Christy about that very thing. It's a very stupid thing based on Sunday being somehow sacred, except half the town can serve alcohol and half the town can't. It's like an arbitrary bullshit.
It's based on
stupid thing.
who's going to pay more money. Is
Yeah.
what it's based on.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm absolutely in favor of them serving whatever they want.
Places
I think they should-
that extortion.
I'm like a booze libertarian. I'm like hands off of who tells me when I can and can't have booze.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't believe in Jesus and his like turning his blood into wine or whatever the fuck he did.
I don't believe in Jesus.
I'm not gonna go on an atheist rant. That's a dumb thing to do.
No, but still, it's like if you don't believe in God, then it's extra silly that you can't have liquor everywhere on a Sunday.
What if
And
I
you
believe in a
do-
different God who likes to get drunk?
Yeah, like
Why can't?
Like Loki,
like Bacchus.
Yeah.
Bacchus.
What if I
sure.
celebrate Bacchus?
Yeah, how come in the month of March I can't get fucking meat on a goddamn Friday?
Oh, God, don't you hate that?
Like you order a pizza with pepperoni and they
Oh,
just
Lent,
give you the
Lent.
biggest shit look. Like fuck off.
Yeah, right. It's not my fault that you're stupid.
I didn't decide to be in the pizza business.
Right.
Now, as a fan of seafood, I love Lent. I love going to a restaurant and seeing
I
all
love
the Lent
seafood.
I
specials.
do not like seafood at all.
No?
No, I do not eat seafood.
Yeah, no,
Of any kind.
See, I'm a seafood
shrimp
guy.
or
No.
salmon, like a good grilled salmon. What about
I will.
sticks?
I will not order seafood on Friday
fish
though. If I
sticks?
can
Or,
avoid
who
it.
said fish sticks? That's
I
not
said fish
seafood.
sticks. It's reconstituted, ground up seafood.
That's not seafood.
It's
I had. All right. So I went to Longhorn. This was a couple years ago. I went to Longhorn Steakhouse, right?
Yeah.
And it was a Friday during Lent, and I was with me and somebody I worked with. And we went to get lunch at Longhorn, and I ordered a steak because it's a steakhouse.
yeah.
Understandable thing to do.
Wait, are you kidding me?
Hold on. Where's this
No.
going? Where's this going?
I ordered a steak at a steakhouse on a Friday, right?
During Lent.
During Lent, and she looked at me and she's like, "Oh, you know it's Lent, right?" And I went, "The wait, this is the fucking waitress we're talking about."
you were Jewish?
Yes, I should have. Oh,
Yeah, you know you're a fucking steakhouse, right?
I'm a Satanist. I like to do whatever pisses you off.
I worship Baal, and I'm gonna cover my naked body
Yeah.
with a steak and then eat it.
She was one of the. You could tell, like she was. You know, she
I'll
was.
make it up in confession later. Get me a fucking porterhouse now.
She was. You could tell just by looking at her. She was one of those like way too nice people who's been through the church and had like the whitewashing
Sure,
go over.
sure.
And she's like, "Oh, you know it's Lent, right?" And I went, "Oh yeah, I know. I don't care." I got the worst look. I got the fucking
shit.
this disgusted like.
She gave you the stink eye?
She gave me the stink eye. I was like,
At a steakhouse?
I'm sorry. I don't feel like.
observe our archaic fasting
Right. Like, fuck off. That's a man-made rule. God didn't say that.
Yeah, God didn't say nothing about
No.
no.
You can
fish.
why
God
is it
gave you
can-
10 rules.
Why is it that you can have fish and not
Yeah.
meat?
Fish is meat.
Is fish not sea meat?
It's white meat. I think
So
that's the
is-
thing. You can't have red meat
I
during
believe it's
Lent, right?
ocean meat.
Chicken?
Ocean meat.
meat.
Please
Yeah.
take me.
No, you can't have
Take
chicken.
me by the meat.
You can't have chicken. I know
have
that.
chicken.
Yeah.
Wait, you can't have
You
chicken?
can't have chicken during Lent. It's still meat.
Can't have pork chop?
But fish is definitely dumb swim meat.
Well,
It's
here-
like
Here's the initial rule. The original rule was you were supposed to fast during Lent. So that meant
Right.
like water and bread,
That's
right?
for 40 days. That's
40 days.
inhuman.
Exactly.
Hey,
So-
Jesus did it. Why
so
can't
they changed
you?
it.
Weirdly enough, the Bible even says man cannot live off of bread alone.
So towards the right. I'm with you.
Bread and beer.
Yep. Towards the late 1800s, when red meat, when meat in general
Yeah.
was a commodity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it was something that people, the upper class could afford regularly, you would give it up as a sign of like you humbling yourself. They changed the rule.
Now,
so that the meat thing is a recent thing.
There is.
It used to just be bread and water.
I didn't realize until recently that there's a thing called pescatarianism.
Yeah.
Like where
fish.
where you don't eat meat except for fish.
Right.
Which seems like a weird distinction.
I feel like the distinction is a fuzzy one that says, well, fish are dumb and they don't care.
Yeah.
Like it's really loose.
Well,
Technically, going by the word of the Bible, you shouldn't eat anything with scales, including fish.
Right. That's
Sure.
true.
But we'll see. You say that. You say that's a.
You talk about the vision of Saul, right? He had the vision of all the things scattered out on the blanket.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was it was like the vision given to him that basically really closely aligns with things that will give you trichinosis. But either way, it's like a blanket full of shit you're not allowed to eat.
Right.
He took a lot of mushrooms and then he saved Walt and Jesse.
Yeah.
Well, see, you say that, but like we don't know what a person's circumstance. Like I've had more than one person in my line of work. You know, folks with developmental disabilities. More than one person who doesn't eat meat, not because of any moral reasons, but because they don't like the texture. But they'll eat like fish or shrimp easily.
See, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's just because it's not some stupid, archaic gobbledygook.
It's a rule that we have to follow. Yeah.
Right, but it's like
Arbitrary.
It's like the things that I don't know. It's so weird to me. The things that people choose to eat and don't choose to eat.
I like putting potato chips on a sandwich because I like the texture.
Oh, sweet God, yeah.
Is that not the best?
It's the best.
See, I get that.
Yeah.
It's a I don't know.
No, I get the idea of not wanting to eat fish or not wanting to eat meat, but being okay with fish. The textures are so different. Fish flakes and falls apart.
Yeah.
It's softer. It's like meat. It's almost rubbery, and especially when you get into like a well cooked steak, it's rubbery in a way.
Why would you
kinda
ever
rip
have
out.
a well-cooked steak?
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean. A well-made steak.
Yeah. Where you gotta like
Medium at best.
Yeah.
medium,
Yeah.
and that's pushing it.
something that is well made, as in the quality of its preparation is
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Like a well done steak will tear pretty well because it's been all that nice
because it's
fattiness
leather.
has been
Because
cooked
it's
out.
ash. Yeah.
all the flavor's been sucked out of it,
Right.
and it just falls apart.
But like a steak at medium,
You're eating
it's kind of
cardboard.
chewy. It's kind of chewy as opposed to
Because you're chewing the raw animal muscle.
right.
Right.
Well, okay, we're back at food.
We are back in.
That was a circuitous loop.
I'm trying to think of another good unpopular opinion I have.
I don't think fat people should have handicapped parking.
Agreed.
Yeah, you know what?
Second that.
But like, you don't really get handicap parking because you're fat.
No, you do.
You do. You definitely do.
Well, like you
If
get
you're-
it because your like bones are falling apart because you're that fat.
Yeah,
Right?
but that's
be-
come on. We're splitting hairs
Yeah,
at
that's
this
because
point.
you're fat.
Right.
Yeah,
but
I'm a fat guy. I'm not trying to
But are we saying that people who like okay, let's say for instance, let's say being overweight is a choice that you can't take back and you got to live with the consequences of it. Smoking is the same thing.
Agreed.
So like should smokers not be entitled to like insurance paying for
No.
tracheotomies and things like that?
Is a man not entitled to the smoke of his cigarette?
I think they should, but I do believe their premium should be a lot fucking higher.
Absolutely. Right. And they usually are. Right.
Mine was.
Right.
And probably will.
Right. So I know mine was.
Mine
yeah.
will continue to be because
Right.
I use nicotine.
Yeah, not at our place.
I'm not saying don't do the tracheotomy. I'm saying I don't have a problem. If I'm a smoker, which I was, I don't have a problem paying a lot more for it.
Okay, but my point is like when you get to that point, you're at a point where you can certainly experience regret.
Sure.
And I gotta be real. Like, not everyone who's overweight, that's not entirely their fault.
Right.
To a degree.
To a degree. And for certain people, it absolutely is their fault. For certain people.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
When you're 800 pounds, there were signs
There's
at
a
some
line.
point. There were signs.
There's
that
a
you
line.
Could have taken control.
okay, but what I'm saying is once you get to that point,
Yeah, like how do you coming back is like next to impossible at that point.
Yeah, and is it fair to make that person walk 200 yards to the front door
to the snack shop? Yes, I do believe that.
Here's the thing: if you're at that point, you're not going out anymore.
I'm going to disagree on this one.
That's good,
and I feel like
that's why these are unpopular opinions. See?
I'm with you. Yes, it is fair to make that person walk 200 yards.
Yes.
I don't have a problem with it.
Because you know what? If there's only 3 handicap spots and someone who had a leg amputated or something like that.
But no place has just 3 handicap spots. If you're talking about like
Honey Baked Ham out in Boardman.
Okay, maybe an appropriate example for this conversation.
But if you're talking about like a small clinic or something that like has like a single walkway and there's a handicap space on either side, you know, I'm thinking more of like a Walmart or something that's got like 64 handicap spaces across its 8 aisles.
Do we need that many handicap spaces?
We don't.
I feel I feel that people get handicap parking very easily.
Too easily.
But handicap parking is the sort of thing where I would rather have too many than not enough.
Yes, this is where Ben and I are going to differ on this topic. Is I'm usually, if not almost all the time, willing to go, well, but what do I know? Just give it to them. Like it's not hurting me. I don't care who the fuck parks in the handicap spot. It's not hurting me.
Right. Yeah. Like for able-bodied people like us, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. That's a thing that I think is something that should be discussed within the confines of
Yeah.
I mean, not.
It's hard. It's a hard subject.
It really is.
Not to say that an outside observer shouldn't have valid input, but what I'm saying is, like let's say you're a 65-year-old person. You weigh 450 pounds,
Thyroid problem,
There could be many contributing factors,
Sure.
but it doesn't matter because your fucking legs are like glass.
Yeah.
Is it fair to make that person, manually transport themselves?
Not if they're elderly. If you're 32 years old and you weigh 500 pounds... then yeah, it's. I would say, I would say it's fair to make them walk that far.
Yeah.
How many contributing factors can you have at 35? Aside from arguing, I have a thyroid problem,
Which is just big bone in the 21st century.
I don't know.
I don't have a problem with that.
No.
If I was here's my I'm taking this from a personal line. If I was 500 pounds, I would get weight loss surgery. I would hit that line
If you could.
personally.
If you could.
Let me tell you this.
It's very difficult to get.
Let me tell you. Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say that it's not as easy to get bariatric surgery as you might think.
Sure.
You have to pass a psych exam. You have to pass a thing that proves that you're actively attempting to lose weight. There's all this stuff, and then the recovery process from this thing is like years long.
Sure.
Which
Right.
in the 90s, that wasn't the case. And actually, I kind of think a lot of the way
Let's go back to the 90s.
Well, let's talk about this. A lot of our takes on stuff like this is rooted in like the last 20 years, right? But there was a huge wave of people getting lipo, people getting bariatric stuff. Like
People getting Al-Roker surgery.
Yeah, the
You're right.
Al-Roker surgery from like the 90s into the early 2000s.
Sure.
And they actually kind of just threw it everywhere because
Sure.
it was new and it was like, let's just give it to people.
And it
I'll
worked though.
It did
It
work,
worked,
but it
but you
didn't
have-
always stay.
No, you
Yeah.
have to maintain it.
Yeah.
You have to change your lifestyle completely.
I'll tell you this right now. You still have to change your lifestyle, which is why.
Sure.
First of all, they do like a psych assessment, and I mean like a very strict psych assessment.
Yeah.
This is like a life-changing thing. You have to change your entire and like we know that now. So like now today, getting that kind of it's not an easy way out. It's not just
Sure.
like
They make it really hard to do because it's A, expensive.
Yeah.
B, it doesn't always keep. So if they paid for it, they want it to stay.
Right.
Like they run people through the ringer on that.
They do. They absolutely do. And
And now look at Al Roker. Now he's creepy looking. Yeah. I want fat Al Roker.
and now he's an Illuminati puppet.
Now he just does that weird freeze on command thing.
That face.
Yeah.
He's like Jonah Hill. They're just better when they're fatter.
Yes, give me fat Jonah Hill.
Skinny Jonah Hill.
I don't care for him.
No.
I want fat Al Roker back.
This was something. This was something I was talking about with someone else recently. I miss when well, I guess it's not such a distant memory. We've got like Guy Fieri and Paula Deen.
If you love
the chunky chefs on cooking shows.
never trust a skinny
Never
chef.
trust a skinny chef.
Never.
I was
You were
watching
watching a bunch of Emerald.
I was watching a shitload of Emerald. He wasn't like fat, but he wasn't like
He was stubby.
You could tell he ate.
Well, with age it got more apparent, but like he wasn't like
He's a healthy
He was
boy.
round in the face.
sure, yeah.
He wasn't like a
Exactly.
needle-nosed, pointy chin.
He's a well-fed man.
Yes, you could see it.
You
didn't
can
go
tell
hungry
from
many
looking at
nights.
him and from the way he speaks. He knows his food.
From the way
Emerald,
he speaks.
Emerald is like a cartoon.
Yeah, he is. He's bamming over here. He's bamming over there. He
Bam.
kicks things up a notch.
Right. Which is why I will follow one of his recipes way faster than I'll follow Gordon Ramsay's
Yeah.
recipe.
Oh yeah.
Fuck you, Gordon Ramsay. Except for your scrambled eggs.
Yeah,
Those are
like Gordon
incredible.
Ramsay will never go. Why don't we get a little bit more there? Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, for real.
No, it's a slippery slope because there's a fine line between it. I think there's a lot of contributing factors to people being grossly overweight.
Yeah.
That you have to weigh the options for.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am grossly overweight. My brother.
Talking to the choir here, buddy.
Right. My brother is even more overweight than I am. He doesn't have a handicap sticker.
I never met any of your siblings.
Yeah,
I don't even.
I think I met your brother when I was like 8.
Yeah, Jamie. Yeah, it's a big family. We're big bone people. We're large people.
big
people.
family.
Yeah. The Brady body. Flat, skinny, like the Hank Hill ass where it comes in.
My orthotic.
Yeah. Right. Like large people, but like I have this thing where it's like I did this.
Yeah. So I'm a bigger guy. I'm always going to be a bigger guy.
This is my fault.
Now
This
that's
is my fault.
I will
I don't
never
have-
get to the point where it affects
my mobility,
day-to-day
right.
activity.
And if it does, I will do what I have to do to
that's-
change.
yeah.
in this room, we can own our bodies because that's true here.
Exactly.
There's a lot of funfetti cake right here.
Now, in
Because
this
I love funfetti cake.
Little Caesar's pizza.
in this
Oh, yeah.
room, we can
$5.
own this. But the point I'm trying to make, I guess, is just that I can't say that for everybody.
You
If
can't.
there's
I
a
don't know
legitimate
them all.
medical excuse, which yes,
Yeah.
you can diagnose a legit medical excuse.
Yeah, I think
But
it might
they
be
will
more people than we
spin-
know.
You can have a medical fucking restless leg syndrome is a fucking disease.
You can spin. Here's the thing: the fact that ADD was a thing and ADHD was a thing for the past 20 years. That was a legitimate medical excuse until very recently when they started like toning back.
One thing that is definitely a contributing factor that I don't think has been discussed yet is a lot of medications have weight gain as a side effect.
That's true.
Before,
Agreed, yeah.
If you saw my senior picture in high school, you wouldn't recognize me. I was fucking fat. I was fat as hell. Like I'm not just talking just like doughy around the middle like I am now. I'm talking like my face, my neck, like everything was just fat. And it was because of Risperdal. I was on risperidone for the majority of high school, and I was like 300 pounds.
What did you take it for? Was it
For my freakouts, honestly.
Yeah, was it
for my Asperger's freakouts? Risperidone is an antipsychotic. So I was on that, and I was on.
I was almost on lithium, so I mean.
Oh gosh, yeah. So
like the Nirvana album?
Yes. Right.
Risperdal and
Listen to this twice a day.
No. Risperdal. Which one's an antidepressant, one's an antipsychotic.
Right.
Risperdal and Seroquel.
Seroquel. Yeah.
Seroquel.
I know that one.
Yeah, one of those. I was really fat by my senior year in high school, and then I can't remember if I decided to stop taking it or if my parents decided that I shouldn't be taking it because it was like they just felt it was making things worse. But either way, the summer of my graduation, 2006, I stopped taking it, and over the summer I shed like 150 pounds.
I was gonna say I think when I met you, you were at the thinnest that I have ever known.
I was fucking skinny as shit.
I have pictures
in like
of this. I showed
third
you.
and fourth year in college. Yeah, I was skinny as hell.
Yeah.
I've gained a lot because of drinking and
Yeah, well,
all
I mean,
that.
come on. So here's the greater problem here. People are being overly medicated.
Oh, that's a huge thing.
Yeah, you don't belong on an antipsychotic. I'm your best friend.
Well, you've only been my best friend since college, and
Right.
in college I didn't know anyone in high school, and it's the people in high school that made me need some antipsychotics.
Sure, fair enough. But you're like, okay, like I was on 50 milligrams of Adderall. Do you believe that shit?
50 milligrams.
Which is like the second highest dose you can give a human being. For context, now they give people like 10,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so like I was on an enormous amount of Adderall, and I remember the moment that I decided I was going to stop taking it. I was like 13 or 14. I was about 14 years old, right? And I'm in like after my parents split up, I was with my dad on the weekends, and it was like my fourth weekend into this Adderall. And I remember I'm sitting in the car with Dad, and we're driving. We were coming home from like a golf course or something, and he looked at me and he's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "What is the matter with you?" He's like, "You're a fucking zombie." He's like, "I can't get a reaction out of you." And I told him, I'm like, "Oh, I'm on Adderall," and he's like, "It's like." He told me years later, he's like, "It's like you weren't fun anymore. You just like lost every piece of you that was you was gone." But I just like, he was like so honest. He was like, "What is the matter with you?" He's like, "You're just not the same anymore." It's like I wanted my son back. Like, you know, like just
a good guy dad.
Yeah.
Be like, I don't care if this is uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah. This is fun.
Yeah, right. It was like this great, but like we didn't know. Like nobody knew anything about that, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, and it's still obviously it's still a problem. We have this gigantic opioid crisis. These doctors are just over. All right, when I got my wisdom teeth pulled out, right, I explicitly said I don't want. Like when I was in high school, I used to take a fuckload of painkillers all the time because I was just dumb and in high school. So I told my oral surgeon, I don't want Vicodin. I don't want painkillers. Just give me the ibuprofen, give me the anti-inflammatory, and I'm good. And he's like, well, I'm going to give it to you anyway. I'm like, I just told you, I don't want them. Like, I don't want them.
Right.
And
that should be a big signal to the doctor, like, oh shit, I shouldn't give this to him.
Right.
I don't know. When I had my root canal, I really wanted them painkillers. That was,
sure. Oh, yeah, sure.
that was fucking miserable. But I stopped using them when I had no pain.
Right.
Here's an unpopular opinion.
This is a great topic, by the way.
Yeah. Did we do this once already?
I feel like we've said unpopular opinions on the show.
We usually do because
I don't think we've
like
ever done this as a topic.
I think all of us have like a provocative streak where we want to say something that'll inspire discussion or at least create controversy.
We've all said unpopular opinion, but this.
I can't remember.
It's never been a topic.
This was by design.
I feel crazy, but I feel like once I said let's do unpopular opinions.
Here's an unpopular opinion that I realized. Do you remember when we had the N64 hooked up and we tried to play GoldenEye with Drew?
Yes.
Do you remember that? It was then that I realized GoldenEye is not a very good game.
It's not very good.
When you
now.
compare it to today's standards,
Well,
not at all.
Well, not even to today's standard. It's like even with the standards at the time, the controls don't make any sense.
The controller of the N64 doesn't make sense.
Well, okay, but then you've got like shooters like Perfect Dark and Turok that where the controls make some modicum of sense, but with GoldenEye they didn't really.
So I'm going to go back. I'm going to quote Donkey here. If you put that game on a mouse and keyboard and you up the frame rate, incredibly different game.
Yeah.
Incredibly different game.
I bet.
There is a community of people who've modded GoldenEye, and you can play it.
There's several communities, in fact.
You can play it at 60 frames per second with the standard graphics on a mouse and keyboard, and it becomes I played it one time on the old computer. It is a vastly different game.
Yeah,
I believe it.
So much better.
Yeah.
The original GoldenEye in its iteration on the N64
Not that good.
was not very good.
Not that good.
But it was the best we had.
But it was the best we had.
Right.
It was definitely revolutionary at its time.
At the time.
Yes, at the time, hands down the best game.
So
You
like
could
when you talk about it, you really have to. You can't talk about it in reference to now. When you say
No.
was it a good
But
game,
Even like when
you
Halo
have
came
to-
out.
Well, but
like
even-
you compare it to the original Halo, which I will say I still
holds
say
up.
the original Halo is still a very good game.
Absolutely, it's one of the best shooters ever made,
Yes.
bar none. But when you're talking about the original GoldenEye, like even at the time, it was a developmental shot in the dark.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
They
just happened
They
to-
they flew it in by the seat of their pants. They threw the multiplayer in at the last fucking minute,
which is
And
crazy.
didn't tell the Rare executives, if I
Right.
remember correctly. They
Right.
just did it.
It was a really honestly a really slapshod fucking game.
Yeah.
And in retrospect, it really shows. And
But
and
it
again,
was
like you said,
again the best we had.
It took
was
me
the best we had.
I'm going to agree with you, but I will say that it took me a very long time to come to that conclusion.
Yes.
I
It took me
remember
a long time to come
Now,
to
the
that.
last time we played, by the way, if I remember correctly, I think I did pretty well, and I was like,
did, you
I don't
won.
know what you guys are complaining
You
about.
did. You
This
did
is
win.
super fun to me.
I remember I sucked.
I played well.
I was awful.
I'm still pretty good at GoldenEye, but like it is the frame rates. The frame rate is where I draw the line. It's
Especially
so
when you get
boring.
into 4-player split screen multiplayer,
it's
the
it's
frame rate
dropped
just
six
it's like
frames a
10
second.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's awful.
Which is probably why they put it in at the last minute.
Now-
and yet that ended up being the thing
That was like
we
the
all
defining
think.
feature
Yeah.
because
Yes.
Now
First time
I
you
will
can
say
do
that
Shout out to Grant Kirkhope, the music executive at Rare, who did all that music.
come on, I may go.
Yeah.
If you think you already know. The GoldenEye N64 game was like my very first exposure to James Bond. And I remember because it came out in like what, 97,
97.
98, 97?
97.
So I would have been 9. And I would have been 8 or 9 years old. And
Oh, that's crazy.
and
That,
I-
I would have been just a little bit older.
well, because I remember asking my dad like you know, can we watch a James Bond movie? And we got.
I'm sure he was like, yes.
He was like,
You know how long I've been waiting for you to ask me that?
Right.
and the movie we rented was Diamonds Are Forever.
Yeah.
After George Lazenby was cut from the franchise after the disaster that was on Her Majesty's Secret Service, they rehired Sean Connery,
yeah.
to come back for one final film. Diamonds
He's
Are
still
Forever.
doing the beer
I'm
salt.
still doing the beer salt. I haven't given up on it. I lost the top part that lets just a few grains out.
I didn't.
So I got to be real careful here.
I didn't quite get Diamonds Are Forever in the day. I do definitely remember the two women in the sauna that attacked Bond wearing next to nothing, Bambi and Thumper. Yeah. I remembered them.
Named for your father, perhaps.
I kind of feel like GoldenEye was like my first formative crush.
Oh, for sure.
Pushing
And it was
along.
Natalia.
Oh, Natalia. Oh, that was
GoldenEye.
Goldfinger.
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. GoldenEye was my first.
Natalia.
Natalia was
Natalia
was
Semyonova,
gorgeous.
right?
Natalia Fyodorovna Semyonova.
And what's his name that played Boris?
Boris,
in
I am
Funny?
invincible.
Yeah.
That's when I learned to start spinning and twirling my pen.
Yeah, right.
I do that at work to this day. I spin it, click, 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 spin it, click, click,
How
click.
formative that was to
Yeah.
my childhood, and I guess maybe you guys.
Oh,
too.
God, Natalia.
And the bad guy's name was Alec.
Yeah, I already say Alec.
That's right.
Alec Trevelyan.
Alec Trevelyan.
Until he got Sean Beaned.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So
No, James.
I'm gonna nerd out on you about GoldenEye for a sec. GoldenEye was a full 7 years after the previous Bond film, which was The Living Daylights, starring Timothy Dalton. At the time, they believed that Timothy Dalton was going to kill the franchise, but they were planning another movie in '91. But then the Soviet Union collapsed. So they had to restructure and reorganize the entire thing. And so that's why GoldenEye is set up in a post-Soviet Russia, where you got Valentin, lamenting the loss of the old Soviet system. And all of that.
And Pierce Brosnan's perfect jawline.
Yeah.
Oh, Pierce Brosnan was totally. He was
the Bond
still
for the
looks
time.
good.
He really does.
He does. It's not fair.
No, it's really not.
He still looks good. He's got this Sally Field thing where he's just going to be good looking maybe forever.
Yeah, just slightly grayer up top.
Right.
Little more peppery.
Right.
But that was what made GoldenEye take off so much, was because it was very conscious of the time.
Yeah.
It had the best actor for the best time period it was set in.
And let's be honest, Dame Judi Dench.
Judi Dench.
Jame Duty Dench.
Oh, is she not the best ever?
Judi Dench was one of the
Dench.
best things to happen to the Bond franchise. She's so good in every way.
Yep.
GoldenEye is...
She's alive, right?
She is.
Okay.
Not in the films. M's dead.
I do that all the time. And actually, recently,
Spoiler alert: M dies in Skyfall.
I was talking with some people. I was talking with Jordan, who I work with, and Blaine, who I work with. And Blaine mentioned a weird interview that is out there of Larry King interviewing Eric Andre, which sounds incredible, right? And I'm going to watch it. Maybe we could watch it together tonight. I haven't seen it, but
We should. But that sounds absolutely unreal.
Jordan's reaction was, I thought Larry King was dead. And I can't blame her, because I haven't heard much from him in a long time.
No, we're definitely gonna keep replacing Larry King's failing body parts with cybernetic replacements until he's like Shodan, where it was like circuitry into his face and everything.
He's gonna be the bad guy from Omega Virus. He's gonna be the virus.
Larry King is the Omega Virus. You human scum!
I feel like we're
That's not my paternity suit.
So
You found me.
You missed me!
Alec, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What was the 007 game on the N64 that came out after GoldenEye?
Tomorrow Never Dies.
Tomorrow Never
Tomorrow
Dies,
Never Dies.
with the blue cartridge?
Yes.
That was better than GoldenEye.
Oh, that was fantastic.
That was
really good.
significantly
It was
better
really
than
good.
GoldenEye.
That-
Significantly better. Were you kidding me?
I didn't play it.
You didn't play it?
No,
I
I
have
did-
it at home.
I
We're
did
gonna
be-
play it.
Dave, trust us, it's significantly better.
We used to remember putting the bot matches on
Yes.
hard and playing.
That
Oh
was
my
one of the first ones that had
bots.
bots.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you could do 2-on-2 versus bots.
Now, was
it was
that the
fantastic.
one that featured the cloaking car? Or is that
no,
one
no,
Blaine-
That was Agent Under Fire.
No.
That was Die Another
Die Another
Day.
Day with
The
Halle
cl-
Berry.
That was Halle Berry, yes. Die Another Day. It had the North Korean villain with the diamonds in his face.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy was super
Gustav Graves.
cool. Gustav Graves.
Yep.
The fucking fencing scene.
Yep.
How fucking ridiculous and
Yep.
cool at the same time. Oh my god.
See, I think they did Pierce Brosnan was the perfect late 90s, early 2000s Bond.
Sure.
But then Daniel Craig was the perfect later 2000s Bond.
We gotta watch tonight. AFI honored Sean Connery with a Lifetime Achievement Award, and one
Recently?
no, not really.
A couple years ago, yeah.
Several years ago.
remember.
But one of the speakers was Pierce Brosnan, and hearing him talk about Sean Connery will bring a fucking tear to your eye.
Oh man, let's do that. We gotta put together our list. We have so many things we should watch tonight.
we gotta watch. We gotta watch
Pretty
some.
good. Pretty good. We gotta watch The Dumbest Boy Alive.
The Dumbest Boy.
Dumbest Boy. We gotta watch Larry King interview Eric Andre. We gotta watch Pierce Brosnan talk about
Sean.
Sean Connery. Is there anything else we have to say about? I mean, this is a topic we get to go forever on.
Oh god,
Yeah.
unpopular
You know what?
opinions.
I think I have one last quickie.
Let's
That,
hear it.
Yeah, let's.
you know what? I'm going to try to piss off all three of you at once.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's all end with a room pissing off unpopular opinion.
Yes.
See if we can find
Let's
one.
just suck the wind out of the
I have
room.
a feeling like I
Yeah.
know what topics it's going to touch on, but go ahead.
I have no idea.
I think the Beatles are extremely overrated and are not nearly as good as everyone
He'll
says.
agree with you. The other two.
You know, it's because I didn't grow up with the
Yeah,
Beatles.
I can't
I don't have that connection to the. I feel like every Beatles fan has a connection to the Beatles from, at least in our generation, growing up listening to them. I don't have any
can get
particular
that, too.
connection to the Beatles.
I'm sure because it was a different style at the time and everything, but just listening to the music,
You don't get it.
I
recognize
question.
why, but I don't. It doesn't connect personally with me, so I'm just like, yeah, it's the Beatles.
I have a question, and it might help me clarify where you're coming from.
Yeah.
When was the first time you heard the Beatles? Like, how old were you?
I was younger.
7,
8-ish,
Okay.
around there.
Honestly,
Your day breaks.
If
your
I-
mind aches.
if I'm being real, if I'm being real, the first time I heard the Beatles was in a 1-800 commercial for a best of CD set. And that was the first time I heard the Beatles, with just little snippets of their songs.
I'm
And I was
amazed you remember that. That's wild.
And I was like, I remember a lot of 1-800 commercials, especially a lot of like old 80s songs.
I remember a lot of 1-900.
With like they'd have the
Baked beans.
they'd have that blue screen at the end with the number in yellow, and then like a little thumbnail of the thing they were advertising.
They'd have the songs scrolling by, and they'd highlight the one you were currently listening to in yellow.
Right.
So you knew where you
I
were.
think the last one of those I saw was one for power ballads of the 80s.
Yeah.
It's like all the hair.
That was one of those was the one of those was the first time I heard Air Supply. I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without.
Shout out to Time Life, who made the best compilations ever.
Yeah, for real.
Jock jams.
Yeah.
But again, that was the first time I heard the Beatles.
Yeah.
So to me, growing up, the Beatles were kind of background noise. And now as an adult, it's like I recognize the influence, but it doesn't connect personally with me.
So here's the difference. Dave and I had parents who were super into the Beatles.
And
it was like a sharing experience.
that's the thing.
I can get that too.
Yeah.
For every
I know my mom always listened to Queen. And
Queen.
Eagles.
I was going to say, I remember Queen. It was always in the
I love Queen.
My dad was
I'm
into it.
indifferent about the Eagles. I can take
I'm not
Hotel
an Eagles
California.
fan. Fuck
the Eagles.
My mom listened a lot to REM, and that's why I love REM.
That's
now.
great. It starts with an earthquake, birds, snakes, and airplanes. Lenny Bruce is not afraid. I have a hurricane. Listen to yourself. Churn world, sister's own needs. Tell me to your own needs. Overflow. Population officer. Leonard Bernstein. Lead enough prejudice. Lenny Bruce, Lester Banks. Birthday party, cheesecake, jelly bean. Boom.
We didn't start the fire.
Used to be on your patriotic Sandbug net, right? Right. It's the yeah. Oh, sorry, we got off on a tangent there.
So anyway,
Star
I do
Trek
get
4.
that something to share by your family.
It was dads in particular. I think. Yeah,
But it's the people that are saying that the Beatles are just the most like technically brilliant musicians ever.
I would disagree with that. I would
Yeah.
say that they were the most influential musicians ever.
They were very influential of their time and
On a
everything.
technical aspect, maybe not the greatest.
Not technical, stylistic.
Stylistically,
yes.
I would give them style. At the time, it was very. It was
At their
different.
time,
you
yes,
gotta
yes,
understand
for
how
their
creative
time.
that was.
Right.
But see, technically, I think they kept things pretty simplistic,
Yeah.
which is in itself kind of brilliant, because anyone can play a Beatles song.
Sure.
Anyone that's learning the guitar can start playing "Let It Be," and that's how that stuff spreads. It's got to be easy to play. It's catchy. It's easy to play. That's the thing about Beatles songs, is they're catchy.
And I will tell you that nobody can pick up the guitar and play any one of George Harrison's solos right off the bat. It's impossible.
Certainly not.
Very hard.
I want to say this
Very
about
hard.
the Beatles. In their defense, and I get why people don't get them. But I will say this about them. They had, in particular, like everything, most of the stuff by the Beatles was written by John and Paul, right? They had, I think, the best. They were so incredibly in touch with what made great pop music.
Yeah.
They wrote intuitively in a way that like most people cannot.
That's what I'm saying.
They just thought in music.
Yeah.
And so I think they, even if it's not your particular cup of tea, like there's a thing about the way that they wrote that is just
Very good.
hard to do if you don't think that way.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They knew how to make a catchy fucking song.
Right.
You know?
And they probably, by the way, are overrated.
Yes.
Because everyone who is lionized and idolized is overrated.
For sure.
They're not exempt from that. To put what they did on a pedestal is kind of silly. Yeah. Because what they did was pop music that was good.
I think we're talking about two different levels of musical genius here. There's the musical genius that creates stuff that deviates from the norm, like for instance, I would say Primus and
thinking totally
that goes
differently
along
about
with one of my recommendations.
Yeah, people that take a style that's completely separate from the norm and just run with it.
Yeah. Like Korn that detunes all their instruments.
Sure.
Yeah, right.
And that's what again, if you go back in time like 50 years, that's what creates people like Hendrix and
still the best improv guitar player ever.
The Rolling Stones, people who definitely, the Doors, people who definitely deviate from the norm, but remain at least a little bit within formula to appeal to the people that listen to them.
Except for the Doors, who were fucking in left field. The Doors are incredible.
But I could listen to the Doors and just enjoy them.
Yeah.
I don't listen to the Beatles and enjoy it.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
that's fair.
But then there's like people like the Beatles, people like AC/DC, people who kind of go with a formula, but who know the formula so well, that they can exploit it and that they can get you hooked onto it.
Like understanding what a genre is built
Great
around.
Example.
Yeah, we're talking about the same kind of talent, understanding what a genre and a form and a style is built around. But we're talking about two different directions. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Beatles and AC/DC and people who like master the formula go in one direction, and then people who understand the formula just as well but go in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And I think it's two branches of the same talent tree.
Let me give you my quick snippet for unpopular opinions at the end. And I know this is going to make everybody angry. Taco Bell sucks. Taco Bell is not good. Taco Bell is the most unappetizing fast food. There is nothing good about Taco Bell.
No, it's not good, but it is filling. And cheap.
I'll give you filling and cheap.
Nope.
Not good.
I'm so in
Not
disagreement with you right now.
Taco
I can't
Bell's
believe
not
myself.
good. I know. Taco Bell's not
disagree
good.
with you.
I am outraged.
I'm a person who used to love Taco Bell.
Price per taste.
I'll give you price.
There, price per taste is a factor. But
a cheesy gordita crunch is like $2.39. That thing is fucking delicious.
Yeah, I made my own at home. Here's my mistake. I opened up a Taco Bell burrito one time and looked at the inside.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
That was the problem.
Don't watch the how it's made on how hot dogs are made
Right,
either.
exactly.
Well,
Right.
well, here's the root of it all. No fast food is actually good.
Exactly.
except Arby's.
Except Wendy's, obviously.
Except Arby's and
but
Wendy's.
you're fucking paying for it.
Yeah.
I can't afford to go to Arby's without a coupon.
That's right. Yeah, it's like $12 for a meal for me at Arby's.
Yeah,
I could go to Denny's and get a Grand Slam and a coffee for less than that.
No fast food is as good, with the exception of Denny's in Eden Park, as a place that you can go and sit down and pay and leave a tip.
Right.
No fast food is that good. But
No, I would.
Sonic is that good.
I would put.
Sonic is pretty fucking incredible.
I would put certain Arby's sandwiches against any restaurant.
I would too.
The Meat Mountain.
I haven't eaten the Meat Mountain.
The original chicken bacon and Swiss, not
Yes.
this fucking garbage that they have now.
yeah.
Or the brioche bun or whatever
Wait,
the fuck.
did they bring it back under a different name?
No, it's the chicken bacon and Swiss, but they put lettuce and tomato on it, and they put it on a faggy bun. And I can't get behind.
faggy bug.
It was the first descriptor that came to my mind. It's
you know what? It's not the most perfect word, but it is kind of.
It's perfect.
It works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Honestly, you can really say that about any fast food now. They're all trying to be
trying
like
to upscale.
artists in fast food.
Stop it.
We have a pretzel bun. We have a whole
Now
bun.
that is where Taco Bell succeeds.
Yes.
They're going
They
artisan
know they're-
bun. Taco Bell's like, I got the Doritos Logos taco.
Our bun is literally made out of Doritos.
That's a place that knows their audience.
It's like we have used the same like fucking wax paper wrap
Yeah.
for years,
Right.
And the formula doesn't change.
So let me tell you this. I think Taco Bell is delicious.
It is.
I think Taco Bell is delicious.
How?
I can't eat it because I will get sick if I eat Taco Bell because
yeah.
I know what's in it.
But your assertion was that it's bad.
It's bad.
If it tastes delicious, how is it bad?
It's
No,
bad
you know
because
what?
it will make me sick, and I know that the quality of the food is horrible.
I agree with you now.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, it's delicious.
But it's horrible.
It's definitely not
Taco.
good.
I love Taco Bell. I would go get. I know what my order would be.
I'm going to harken back to my Call of Duty argument.
Harken, please.
In saying that, just because the game doesn't do anything innovative or creative, that doesn't mean it's not fun.
It has nothing to do with creativity. I would say that Taco Bell excels at that.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
And he's saying
They
just
have
because
so many
it's
different-
not good doesn't mean
I'm
it's
saying
not.
just because
delicious,
the quality
pleasurable.
of the ingredients. Call of Duty is a case study in behavioral psychology. You can see through it easily, but that doesn't make it a bad game. Just like in the way that Taco Bell just uses the most basic and disgusting ingredients. That doesn't mean it's not delicious.
It is very good.
And actually, that's not the point he's making, it seems. I didn't realize that, but he is saying it's delicious.
It is very-
not good.
It
Like,
is
it's not good. It's low quality swill
Right.
that tastes
But
really
if
good.
it's delicious, how is it not good?
Because I want to throw up when I'm done eating it.
yeah, because your asshole just opens up.
Well, then how is it not delicious? If you
it
want to
is.
throw up,
I know what's in it. I eat it.
I know when I'm eating a steak, I'm eating a barely cooked carcass.
Right.
That doesn't make me want to throw
but it's
up.
a really high quality.
I feel like
carcass.
exactly. I feel like I buy Taco Bell out of necessity because it's cheap and close, and I'm hungry, and it sounds good at the time.
I'm getting hungry for it now
Ex-
while we're talking about it.
But then I'll
about
go
it.
home. I'll get halfway through the meal, and then I'll start gagging because
Yeah.
I know what I'm eating. That's why it's bad.
Yeah.
Taco Bell tastes incredible. Not incredible. It tastes really good.
Very good.
What is different about what you're eating at Taco Bell versus Wendy's? What's different?
The quality of the meat.
Taco Bell
Bell's
cuts corners.
It's objectively lower quality. So
Significantly
the
lower
ground
quality.
beef that you're eating at Taco Bell is way more in the way of trimmings and nasty things that they couldn't put into a burger. It's
Same
assembled.
argument
It's
as
assembled
chicken
sloppier.
McNuggets.
But you
They're
get
delicious,
You would
but
get
they're god awful terrible.
you would get the same kind of thing at a Tex-Mex restaurant,
No, you wouldn't.
like the chewy bits in your steak.
No, but you'd
Like-
get Taco
But you
Bell
get a lot
buys,
more of it at
Taco
Taco
Bell
Bell.
buys a higher number or quantity of beef trimmings that would not make its way into beef anywhere else.
Sure. Wendy's is also a lot cleaner than Taco Bell.
Yeah.
I feel like I've had a different experience at Taco Bell than you. have.
Maybe that might be. That's a factor. But I can tell you the Taco Bell in Austintown, which I think is the best Taco Bell. Those guys are always on point.
It's
Actually,
really good.
I will argue the one on 422 in Niles.
Haven't been there.
That is a good fucking Taco
very
Bell.
good Taco Bell.
Because every Taco Bell I've been to is disgusting and dirty, but when I walk into any Wendy's restaurant, I feel comfortable eating
I
there.
don't feel that the inside of the restaurant in general is
Yeah, that's why I
dirty.
go through the drive-through.
It's fairly important. Take the McDonald's around the corner.
Yeah.
I don't want to eat there.
I don't
It's
wanna
full
eat
of
there.
flies.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It's not good.
I'm still in the middle
McDonald's
of
is
my
not
McDonald's
good. No,
boycott.
McDonald's-
Hashtag McDouble
How's
watch.
McDouble Watch going?
McDouble watch.
Yeah.
Hashtag McDouble
Little
Watch.
update on McDouble Watch. Guess what? It's still not back.
Fucking garbage.
I will-
to end this episode 10 minutes.
I know, and we will. But let me just say, now that we've raised the specter of McDonald's, let me just round this bad boy out. I had a moment of weakness.
No.
Wait.
I had a coffee and some French fries the other day.
I was holding off, and one day I went, it's just right here. So I went through the drive-through, right? And I thought, I have been steaming.
Pizza Hut's closer.
It is, but you have to wait.
You are weak of will.
So what happened was I went into the drive-thru. You're gonna love this. And I pulled up, going, okay, maybe they have something new that I will like. And I went,
No.
right, I know. And I looked at the menu, and I went,
Taco Bell would have something new.
they would. But
McDonald's, no.
I looked at the menu, and I thought about it, and I said I would like the Mac Junior, whatever it is, the one that's like a Big Mac but a smaller version.
What are you doing, man?
I thought, you know what? I want a Big Mac, but I don't want to spend a lot of money. That's what I was saying.
Come on.
What
Wait a
the
minute.
fuck
I'll
are you
take
talking about?
the frugal
You're
Mac.
talking
I
about
wanted-
a difference of like $3 to $2.
I thought
The frugal Mac.
yeah, it's like $2.50 or $5. So
If it's not a quarter pounder, Big Mac, double cheeseburger,
yeah.
Chicken McNuggets, or French fries, you're doing it wrong.
I wanted to spend less money than $5, so
listen-
I thought I'm gonna get the Mac Junior.
I want a Big Mac, but I don't want to go that grand. I don't want to act like I'm
they
putting
have-
on
they do
the
have
Ritz,
the grand.
you know?
They have the grand Mac.
That's way out of Dave's spectrum.
Evidently, you guys are not living on the budget that I am, because
Nope.
I had to save $2.
Foie gras for me, bro.
So I asked them for the Mac
You want to
Junior.
talk to me about budget, man?
I'm telling you, I wanted to save $2, so I asked them for the Mac Junior, and they told me, "Yeah, we no longer have the Mac Junior." And I was like, "Okay, thanks," and I left.
If the next sentence isn't, and then I went to Wendy's because they're the superior fast food restaurant.
I just went home. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm way over
God,
this.
I want Wendy's so bad.
I know.
I want. You know what I want is a Baconator with lettuce and onions. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Funny how it circled back to food.
Yeah, always.
It always does.
Need people
Not
sitting at
just
this
circle
table.
back. I think we've been on food for like way.
Oh, at least
long time.
3/5.
Ben, what's your
Yeah.
unpopular opinion? Do you have a lasting impression?
My unpopular opinion is Fortnite sucks.
Yeah,
I don't
it does.
like it. I don't like Fortnite. I know it's popular. I know the Battle Royale format is getting real big right now.
PUBG's better.
I don't even like PUBG. I don't like the Battle Royale format in general. It doesn't give you enough of an opportunity to learn. It's not like in like Rainbow Six Siege or Counter-Strike where like if you fuck up one round, you go back in the next round. Everyone's at the same starting conditions, and you can learn from your mistakes. You can correct what you did wrong the last round. In PUBG, in Fortnite, in this fucking Battle Royale format that everyone's so like jacking themselves off over, you gotta start completely fucking fresh against completely different opponents. You don't get to learn from what you've done.
Yeah.
I don't like the format.
I haven't played it, but I'm really sick of hearing about it.
But what about
That's
the
all I
media?
hear about.
It's terrible. All I hear about is Fortnite. Everyone's like, "Oh, hey, you played Fortnite?" Yeah, I did. I hated
Like, that
it.
just means 2 weeks. Like, what? What? I don't get it.
But what about the cool meteors?
I will counter this. You did at one point on this podcast several months ago recommend PUBG.
I did. I take it back. Honestly,
That's okay. I'm not like holding that against you.
You've had time with it.
Because I played
I've had
PUBG.
time with it.
I have PUBG on my phone. I played my first match like yesterday.
Yeah.
And I won. I won out of the 100 people that played. I was the winner chicken dinner. I was number one.
The highest I've gotten
It's okay.
The highest I've gotten is number 2. I made the mistake of shooting at a guy, guessing his position. After watching the replay, he saw my muzzle flash and then aimed at where I was. I didn't think. The highest I've gotten in PUBG, in like legit PC,
Actual,
100-player PUBG, I got to number 2.
That's pretty good.
I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
I've never won a chicken dinner, but I'm proud of that. I don't like the Battle Royale format.
It's okay.
The only
It's very
reason-
boring. There's a lot of not doing anything.
There is, and there's not a lot of opportunity to learn.
We played. I understand on PC it lasts longer. I played a 30-minute game, and
it lasts longer. 30.
yeah, say 30 minutes on mobile. At least more than half of my game, I did nothing. I stood in a building until I had to move.
You know, I'll tell you right now, it's not much different on PC.
It was a lot of not doing anything.
A lot of longevity in, at least in, when you're on your own. It's different in a squad, but when you're on your own, you just kind of gotta hide out.
Yeah.
And
Now compare that to Modern Warfare 2, where I had to run around everywhere.
You're constantly moving.
God, they're going to make Modern Warfare 2 remastered. That will be the Call of Duty game I buy. I am going to fucking buy the shit out of that game.
Well, boys, I think it's about time we took a break.
You don't have your one last snippet to leave?
No, I
with us?
really don't. I really don't. No, I
This is a long episode.
Yeah,
we know that.
Yeah.
This is a good topic, by the way. This is a
very good
really
topic.
good topic.
Yeah, I love it.
I don't know if it's that we have a significant amount of alcohol on this
There's
table.
a lot of
we have to clean this up.
We
in
have to
between
clean
breaks.
this. This is like I want to take a picture of this. This is
Fucking mess.
impressive. I just realized what we did here.
Yeah, this is a lot of booze.
Go ahead and pour
But let's
more Templeton, right?
But let's take a minute here and have a break, and when we come back, we will talk about recommendations and
What we learned.
what we learned. Stick
It's
around.
just because we haven't been around for so long.
I know we're like overdue. We
Yeah.
gotta-
3 weeks of episodes. You got to do it in one
Right.
Build up. We got blue throat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Blue throat beer.
We got a lot of build up. We haven't been.
Yeah, we haven't let it out, so it's painful, and then we have to release it into a
Right.
microphone.
I didn't think we'd. Surprised we
no
didn't start
fat
this
November.
episode sooner.
Yeah.
Some premature recording.
Back in a bit. Back in a minute with more Blue Throat.
Blue throat.
Oh,
Stick
yeah.
around.
Hey everybody, we're back.
It's just so zenful and peaceful. We are
We're very hungry.
so goddamn hungry.
So hungry.
Really hungry. But we are back for the end of our show here, which we are going to expedite because we're so goddamn hungry.
Are both of these mine?
Yes.
Keep drinking them.
So it is time to talk about recommendations.
Yeah.
Things we would like to recommend for you to listen to, watch, do, or hear, or something like it.
Yes.
I'll go first if you want.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
do
Dave.
it.
I have a recommendation. I don't spend a lot of time on Twitter, but I have
It's because it's pointless.
I have a new favorite follow on Twitter, possibly one of my favorite, funniest people on Twitter. His name is Doug Exeter. Like Exeter, like as in the Mystery Science Theater movie.
Okay.
EXETR?
That's right.
Okay.
Doug Exeter is a guy who, he's kind of in the weird Twitter category, like drill. He
Okay.
tweets a lot of really funny, weird, bizarre things that I really like. Twitter keeps trying to make me sign in, and I refuse.
I hate that. Isn't that
Yeah.
fucking annoying?
It's
Yeah.
irritating. Pinterest does the same thing.
Yeah, fuck you. I don't want to download your app. I just want to look at your funny people.
Yeah.
Here, let me just give you a sampling of this guy's tweets. One of them is, what idiot called it a battle of insults and not a roast beef?
Oh, that's wonderful.
He does a lot of to the tune of posts. So to the tune of in the Navy, Ben Shapiro. That one's fun to me. To the tune of Eleanor Rigby, Buffalo Soldier. Change up the words to the name of someone in the news. Exeter's Muse. This is just like a guy that I've just gotten into his tweets a lot lately. He also does so to the tune of Buffalo Soldier. Absolute unit. Stuff that's
silly.
like weird and really funny, but I love Doug
Like the stuff
Exeter.
you do in your shower.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
But he's like really good at these things. I've been reading a whole bunch of his tweets. I think I actually I might have read all of his public tweets, which like go back maybe a year, a little bit more. My favorite thing though that he is into right now is trying to convince people that Bitcoin is just pogs.
I mean, he's right.
Is it not?
A Bitcoin slammer would be fantastic.
Oh my god.
It's
It's the super pog.
it's like this thing that he's like, I'm trying to find a whole bunch of them, but he just tweets about this a lot. Another thing he tweeted that I thought was really funny I told you about this a couple of weeks ago. The tweet is, my GF just said, I secretly love the smell of your balls. LOL. What is the weirdest thing that your grandfather ever said to you?
LOL.
Yeah. So anyway, his name is Doug Exeter. He's on Twitter.
Doug Exeter.
He's so incredibly funny. Doug Exeter. I think that's also his
EXETER.
yeah,
the British Exeter.
Right, at Doug Exeter, EXETER. The dude's so funny. His current description is Bitcoin is Pogs, and his location is It's Pogs.
It's Pogs. That's good.
So anyway, check out Doug Exeter. He's good for a whole lot of laughs. Definitely my new favorite person on Twitter.
I keep hitting the mic. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I have two this week. If I can interject here.
Yeah.
The first one, I just found this out right now, live on the air. One of the guys I work with, who is maybe the person who most belongs on reality television,
Shut up.
is going to be on a show based around the Rogers Flea Market in the Youngstown area.
Yeah.
Called Flea Market Fanatics. I don't know what station it's going to be on, but he went and auditioned several weeks ago, and this is a human being who belongs on television. I can't. His name's Alan Vrakovich. Shout out to Alan. I don't think he's listening to this, but everybody who knows Alan who's listening to this knows that this needs to happen.
Yeah.
He's going to be on a reality TV show.
That's
called
cool.
Flea Market Fanatics, about being at Rogers Flea Market. Alan, of any human being I've ever met, is the person who is best suited for that kind of TV.
No kidding.
He is just fucking great.
No kidding.
So when that, I can't explain it to you. If you've never met the guy, you don't understand. But when Flea Market Fanatics comes out, which will be sometime in the next year, you need to watch it because it's just going to be a treat, I'm sure.
Awesome.
It's just going to be great. The second recommendation I have is an album. I am not giving you the opportunity to pick this week. I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, no. It's an album by Primus, which we were talking about earlier.
Hell
Yes.
yeah.
It is my favorite Primus album. Dave, I think it's your favorite Primus album, too.
Is it Pork
Is it
Soda?
the Brown Album?
It is not Pork Soda. That's what everybody says. Everybody says Pork
Is it the
Soda.
Brown Album or Seas of Cheese?
It is Seas of Cheese.
Yes.
It is the second official studio release by Primus.
Seas of Cheese, I've listened to it several times now. It's incredible.
It is really good.
Sergeant Baker is probably my favorite song.
Mine too. It is my favorite. One of my favorite. It's my favorite.
It's really hard to rank the tracks on that album.
He's going to teach you how to play the game of war.
Where?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
sir!
Seas of Cheese. Every Primus album is really unique in that they all sound very different from one another. Frizzle Fry is kind of like them finding the sound. Seas of Cheese is really technically proficient, I would say.
It's punkish.
It's punkish, yeah, really bright. Pork Soda is very dark, like very dark. The Brown Album they tuned a little lower for the Brown Album, so it sounds. It's called the Brown Album as a joke.
It sounds muddy.
It sounds farty. It's a
does,
really
yeah.
farty sounding record.
Well, because there's no doubt it's related to the brown note. Right?
Exactly right. Exactly. There's a lot of cool songs on that, like "Shake Hands with Beef." Yeah,
Puff Tijuana Smalls.
Puff Tijuana Smalls.
And Shake Hands with
Beef. Yes,
I wish the 90s were a thing again.
me too.
The 90s are coming back.
So
Give it a shine.
cautionary tale to anybody who's never listened to Primus before. It is hard to listen to Primus. If you're gonna know right away whether or not you're into it.
Well, it's easy to listen to Primus if you stop giving a shit.
Yeah.
It's easy to listen to Primus if you just kind of like crank the fuck out of the equalizer and then just kind of like let it happen.
Yeah, I just go into it just expecting to just enjoy.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not going to read into it.
It's difficult music to engage in at first.
Yeah.
You have to kind of just let it happen because it's very complicated and it sounds very weird.
Primus is the musical equivalent of arguing with a gas station attendant who speaks like 20 words of English.
Yeah. No, that's actually pretty accurate. It's organized cacophony. It's just this really weird. I'm trying to think of some of the, Tommy the Cat. One of the funkiest breakdowns in any song ever. Tommy the Cat featuring Tom Waits. Of course, Jerry was a race car driver.
He rarely ever tells a story, but it's on a rare occasion, such as this,
that he did. Jerry was a race car driver, which was featured on the first Tony Hawk's Pro Skater game.
Hell yeah, it was.
Only as instrumental.
Yep. The coolest bass line in the history of cool bass lines.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And to watch him play it live, I've seen Primus live twice. If you watch him do it live, it's even more incredible to see him play it. Caesar Cheese, really cool shit. Sergeant Baker, Tommy the Cat, those damn blue collar tweakers.
Blue collar tweakers is from that album.
God, I'm trying to think what
that
else.
song gets my fucking
heart
pumping.
American Life is on there. Oh man, that's fucking cool. Caesar Cheese. Everybody says pork soda. If you want to really get into Primus, listen to Caesar Cheese first.
Absolutely, it's accessible.
It's super accessible. Maybe the most accessible record. Yeah.
Especially if you grew up among Green Day and Blink-182.
You'll get into it right away.
Yeah,
watch some of the music videos too.
Yeah, so Primus music videos are cool.
they're very interesting.
They're very weird. But Caesar Cheese, check it out. Yeah,
good rec
for sure.
Thank you.
Who's next?
Well, I will recommend album/show. I actually just recently rewatched all of the Metacalypse.
Yes,
great show. Love that show.
Anything Brendan Small touches,
it's
gold.
great. Well, apparently they did do the final episode, which they did as one long...
The rock opera.
Metal opera, which I don't know exactly when it was released, but last time I watched the series a couple years ago, it wasn't out.
Yeah.
And it's out now, so they actually did conclude the show. Really good show. Just fun.
It's really fun.
It's just very fun. Don't try to read too much into it.
Right.
Just
Sure.
go into it, just... think you're gonna have a good time.
Well, it's like a show that does a really good job of
it's like 21st Century Spinal Tap. It's the parody of the metal culture.
Absolutely.
It's that
You're totally right.
super extreme.
It also has these almost like David Lynchian nightmare moments.
Yeah.
Of something really grotesque.
Oh, every episode.
Right.
Like something horrifying to see that and then immediately after they'll cut to something mundane. The pacing is really clever. Like they cut
the very first episode, the chef gets thrown up into the helicopter blades, gets shredded up, and their biggest worry is, well, how are we gonna get food? So they go to the grocery store or the food library.
Yeah, right.
The one and only episode of Metalocalypse I saw was the one where they're trying to do like a coffee promo and they pour scalding hot coffee on the people. Their faces melt off.
Is it their band manager who's in pieces and hooked up to life support?
No, their chef.
Their chef. Oh, that's right. They have him hooked. He's still alive, but they have him hooked up as several different body parts and pieces to this elaborate life support system.
And at the end of the show, they sew him back together. At the end of that episode, they sew him back together, which was also the exit song, which was sewn back together wrong.
Yeah. They're great songs by Death Clock.
Which also leads me into my album recommendation, Death Album 1, 2, and 3. Because they did a compilation of all the actual music. And it's enjoyable metal.
Yeah.
If you like heavy,
it's really good.
death metal, it's really enjoyable.
That's what's remarkable. It's like such a fucked up and twisted show like you would expect from Adult Swim, but then they've got this actual legit soundtrack backing it up.
Really good. Fun fact about all three of those albums, every single one of them in order, starting with the first one, broke the record for the highest charting heavy metal album ever. It was the first, the Death Album 1 was the first death metal album to ever hit the charts. Not just hit number one, but ever hit the charts. It was on like
the top 200 Billboard or whatever.
Mm-hmm. The second one went even higher. The third one hit number one, which is really cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Yeah. So the first ever death metal albums that ever hit, I think the only death metal albums that ever hit number one were, 2 out of 3 death albums.
No shit.
So it's really cool. Really cool.
And it's awesome that he plays all the instruments.
Yeah, everything
and does
except
all
the drums, I think. Everything but the drums. Played bass, guitars. Featuring songs like Mermaider.
It's a song about mermaid murder.
Yep. Awaken Moose to Crackish. Bloodrecuted. Hatred Copter, which is, I think, my favorite.
Hatred Copter. Yeah.
Fucking cool.
Then the one, I don't know the name of it, but the one they did with the London Philharmonic.
Yeah.
It was all about him.
I think it's called just Death Harmonic.
Yeah, that may be what it is, yeah. But it was a charity show they wanted to do so they could do it as a tax write-off. And the lyrics literally go, I want to keep my money and give away absolutely nothing. I'd rather you be dead than give away a shred of what I made this fiscal year.
Yeah.
or in the lyrics. It's brilliant. It's fantastic.
That's amazing.
Well, it's a cool examination of death metal. Like everybody, especially in the 90s, that was like big, heavy metal's horrible. It's no worse than like any horror movie. That's all death metal is like musical horror movies. Yeah. So people used to like ban Cannibal Corpse. But all Cannibal Corpse is just a musical horror movie. That's what this is. It's like, you know what I mean? And it's good music. He's a really talented guitar player.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
I was going to go see Death Clock toured with, it was a double headliner. It was Death Clock and Lamb of God.
Yeah.
And Randy Blythe got detained overseas for the death of a fan at one of Lamb of God's shows.
Oh my God.
It happened like 4 or 5 years ago. And I was very angry that I didn't get to go see Lamb of God and Death Clock because it was like 2 shows after he got detained in Libya or wherever.
They should have taken the lead from the show and made him sign pain waivers.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's a great rec.
Yeah, dude.
So I've got 2 recs for this episode. The first is a recipe that I did recently.
Does this have to do with salmon that you didn't fashion into a hat, even though I insisted you should?
Yeah, okay. I regrettably didn't fashion it into a hat.
I wish you had made it into a hat. It would have made a great hat.
But you're gonna need a pound of salmon, which is one of those frozen things you get. It's a 4 fillet frozen bag. The net weight is 1 pound.
Okay.
Pre-cooked weight.
Right. So what you do is you put a 1/4 cup of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of honey.
Oh God.
1 tablespoon of sriracha.
I'm already close to coming.
1 tablespoon of grated ginger. 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. 1 tablespoon. Wait, that's not right. Okay, let me start over. Okay.
No. Well, oh yeah, go ahead.
Starting over. You're gonna need a pound of salmon fillets. If you get it in the frozen bag, that's like 4 fillets.
Sure.
You're gonna need
pre-cooked.
2 tablespoons of honey, 1 of sriracha, 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar, 1 tablespoon of grated fresh ginger, and 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. You mix that all into a marinade.
Mix that bad boy.
Yeah.
Gotta mix that boy.
You put the salmon in there. You toss it, ideally in a freezer bag. I did it in a mixing bowl because we were out of freezer bags.
Sure.
Put it in the fridge at least 1 hour, no more than 8. Once it's marinated, you take it out. You fry that fucker.
Okay. Fry in a little bit of oil.
Yeah. Put some sesame oil in the pan. 2 minutes on one side, 2 minutes on the other side. 4 minutes on low heat covered.
Okay, so basically sear the outsides and let it go for another 4.
Yeah. Medium high, 2 minutes one side, 2 minutes on the other side. Cover it for 4 on low, and you've got honey sriracha salmon.
Sounds really good.
What I did was made over some homemade lo mein.
Oh God!
Which all you do
fucking jacked me off right now.
well all you do is you get some Marchuan ramen.
Yeah.
All you do is get some store-bought Marchuan ramen, right? Yeah.
You saying Marchuan?
Marchuan.
Marchuan.
I just thought it was Maruchan.
I don't know.
That Brad Marchand.
Brad Marchand ramen.
I never heard anyone
Number
say
63.
You get some Brad Marchand ramen. You cook it like you usually do. You boil it until it's tender, right?
Put it in the boards.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it starts to turn tender,
You suspend it for 2
you
games.
drain the hockey jokes.
Oh man.
In case Brad ever hears this, I'm a huge fan.
Yeah. Please don't leave, Brad. We love you.
We all love you. We are all
You're
Marchand
fantastic.
fans.
I do feel that the league unfairly targets
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love you, Brad.
So you drain the broth. As soon as it starts to get tender, you drain the broth. Put like as much sesame oil in there. Keep pouring sesame oil in and stir it up
Like
until
coat it up nice.
Yeah, like keep stirring it until it gets to the color you want. Like like that light brown color that you like in your lo mein. Mm-hmm. And then put some like grated carrots and chopped scallions in there.
God.
And just without broth, keep it in the saucepan. You just stir that up while you fry the salmon, and then once they're done, you just boop, boop, boop. You just pick them up, boop, put the salmon on top of the lo mein, and you serve it. It's nice and easy.
You serve it in a bowl? I imagine a bowl is better.
You put it on a plate.
I served it on a plate.
I saw the Facebook picture. It was incredible.
I gotta see this.
Oh, you haven't seen the picture?
Oh God!
It's this honey sriracha salmon. You know what does it is the ginger. Now I don't have a grater, so I hand peeled the ginger. I thought at first this would not be great, but
Did you hand peel it and then cut it up with a chef knife, or
no? I just hand peeled some ginger root.
and then you wait you put it in the boil or what?
No. I put it in the marinade.
Just whole?
Yeah. Now when you pick the salmon up out of the marinade and put it into the skillet, you want to save the rest of the marinade, because when you do 2 on one side, 2 on the other side, before you cover it and do it for 4 more minutes, you gotta just pour the rest of the marinade on there.
Yeah.
So you get all that ginger, all that minced garlic, and this is just me. I didn't cook it with sesame oil. I put some sesame seeds on there after the fact.
That looks really pretty.
So it's just topped with sesame seeds and then homemade lo mein.
I don't eat seafood, and that looks good.
This turned out really good. Well, that's the thing. You don't even have to like seafood to like this, because salmon is
the red meat of the sea.
It is a lot like steak.
Land fish.
It's how you
The pussy of the sea.
salmon soaks up a lot on the surface. It soaks up a lot of heat on the surface. So if you do it high and hot at first, and then you do it low and slow to just kind of like get the inside.
Yeah.
It turns out really good, really tender. And this is a honey sriracha recipe, so it turns out really, really, really sweet, really hot. And again, the ginger contributes a lot to this.
Yeah.
I highly recommend, if you have a grater, grate that ginger so that the flavor spreads out more. When Aubrey and I ate it, we had a lot of big, hand sliced chunks of ginger.
Yeah.
So we got big, huge chunks, and that's fine. We both really like ginger. But, if you want to spread the flavor out more, really like fine grate that ginger.
Yeah, giving the ginger more surface area helps the flavor get absorbed into the rest of the dish.
Absolutely. That was the one weakness, I think, of the dishes, is like all of a sudden you get sudden bursts of ginger. It's like, wow, that's great. But you want it throughout the whole dish.
Yeah.
So you got to grate the ginger, mince that garlic.
Got that meat.
Yeah. Yeah, and then spread
Got
out
that ocean meat
over the whole thing.
Now, I know we're in recommendations now, but having you mention that, kind of one more unpopular opinion. Sriracha is good, but my God, is it unnecessarily overrated?
They do include it in a lot. I totally agree. I totally agree.
Like, it was good, but I remember having that when I was like 5 years old downtown at the Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just mix that in with your fucking soup they had there.
Yeah,
it's been around forever, and
it's
these fucking people just
all of a sudden people got real hype on it as if it never existed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A bunch of people just discovered it.
It's a pretty basic chili garlic.
Chili garlic.
Chili garlic.
Chili
mix.
girly, sorry.
It's a pretty basic thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think one Vietnamese guy, kind of perfected it.
More than sriracha, I really like their chili paste they do, which you can get. It's the
Sure.
same people. It's like mostly chili seeds, and it's like thicker. And
I prefer Frank's Red Hot to sriracha.
I can get that.
I put that shit on everything.
Yeah, me too.
Well, you're right. Like I said, this is a dish that I personally, you can serve this over rice. Like, salmon is ideally kind of serve it over rice. I wanted to serve this over lo mein.
Yeah.
And again, all you do is you make ramen noodles and you drain the liquid and then cook it more in like a soy sauce reduction with
That sounds
scallions.
really stupid delicious.
And It turned out really well. I was really, really proud of this one.
Yeah.
So I recommend that Rasa, Rasa, Rasa Malaysia is the site where I got this this honey garlic, honey sriracha salmon recipe, and it's super good. It turned out really well. Mm-hmm. My other recommendation is Stasis. Stasis is a movie on Netflix.
Okay.
You watched this with us.
Wait. The one, the time traveler people?
Yep.
Oh,
that's the one.
My God, was it bad?
It's really bad. If you're a fan of bad movies,
Yeah.
hop on this. I don't know when Netflix takes stuff off or anything like that.
Seemingly at
Too
will.
goddamn soon.
Yeah. Always too soon.
Yeah. The best way to find bad movies on Netflix is to go to the action adventure genre and look for like the latest films.
Yeah.
Stasis is this weird combination. I hope this does it justice. Is this weird combination of The Matrix, Terminator, and Freaky Friday.
It really does. That's a really good way to describe this movie.
This is okay.
Take all those, drop the budget by like 90%, and you have
yeah. So like, I love bad movies because bad movies really bring people together. They really do just kind of like unify people and like oh no, I know what I'm talking about cinematography and
they
whatever.
facilitate the shared movie experience of like you're not just watching something. You're forming an opinion vocally, collectively.
Yeah.
You don't just sit, watch in silence, and then talk later. You're going through it because every few minutes someone goes, "Oh my God!" Like you just
Exactly.
you have to talk about it.
It's far more engaging.
It's the difference between collectively experiencing a movie because it's good, and like collectively, going down the same route, Morty. Going down the same route of perception and experience that defines a good movie like holy shit, like that shot with Charles Foster Kane's face and as he's clapping everything versus being the peanut gallery. Being the peanut gallery is like a valuable experience.
It's a great place to be with a movie.
just sitting there and just hurling everything you got at a movie. That I think is why we love bad movies. But
can I give a brief description of what this movie seems to be about?
Yes.
As far as I can tell, the movie starts in a desert wasteland bad future.
Yeah.
Where people
The future is bad. There's
bad.
a cabal that controls.
Yeah, think Mad Max, but with better computers.
Right.
And then people want to go into these little stasis pods to go back to the past to try to prevent the shitty future they're in, which doesn't really work timeline-wise, but it doesn't matter.
There's like volunteer agents that go back in time by way of other, like the bodies of the recently deceased is what it is.
Yeah, so they go back and they arrive in a body of someone that just died.
Right.
Okay.
Or almost died until they took their body.
Yeah.
And
Near-death
then,
experience kind of thing.
yeah, it's sort of like someone maybe almost overdoses, except now they didn't. Someone just took their body.
But now since they're still alive,
Narcan like they're fucking candy here.
but
Unpopular.
But now since they're still alive, they're a ghost. Like ghosts exist. They're like
Yeah, the person's spirit exists, continues to exist.
yeah.
So
imagine that, except in terms of like the Matrix and the Terminator. Like there's time travel / jacking in involved.
Yeah.
Nice.
And and the people in the past are trying to solve whatever's about to happen in the future, but they can't quite figure it out. And then also
because there's agents from the future, like kind of porting in the same way.
Meanwhile, the Empire of the future, basically the ultra bad guys, are sending people back to hunt the people that went back in time.
This is an old guy drinking scotch.
Yeah, like the whole movie ends up being entirely inconsequential in ways I can't describe in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But,
oh my God. You remember my favorite line, right?
What was your favorite line?
I'm sure she was a good person.
Yeah. Basically, the girl whose body they went back to inhabit gets back to her body.
Teenage emo punk girl.
Yeah, she gets back to her body, and the person that went into her body dies. So basically, that person goes away. She gets back into her body and is basically going, well, I'm sure she was a good person. Like,
yeah,
she stole your body for all the movie.
Talking to her time traveling comrade like they're actual lovers.
Yeah. Nothing about this movie makes any sense.
I'm sorry. I'm sure she was a good person.
Yeah.
Beer salting it up over there.
And I'm still beer salt.
How's there beer salt left in that?
There's, I poured half of it out, but there's still,
This movie again is called Stasis. This was added, as far as I know, at the beginning of the month of April. This was on Netflix. It's called Stasis. You'll recognize it because one of the preview images is one of the women with. She's got like a big science helmet on her head. It's got a bunch of fucking light bulbs and
there's all this science going in.
Yeah.
Science everywhere.
You'll know what I
Bad
mean.
Science.
You'll know what I mean. It's a science helmet.
It's a science helmet.
But I highly recommend Stasis if you like watching bad movies. It's it's one of those ones. I can't blame them entirely. They tried their best. They really did a good job. It's so bad. It's really bad.
They get the A for effort.
Stasis on Netflix. You look for the woman with the science helmet.
All right, boys, I think it's about time to wrap this one up. So let's just talk about
food,
it.
goddammit.
What did we learn?
I learned that everything's better in Wisconsin, including Gary Gygax's pit stank.
I learned that Steve Jobs more like Steve Jerk.
Amazing. Great. I wrote Steve Jobs is a shitty dad.
Yeah,
Just a shitty
Yeah,
dad.
he was a shitty dad.
Just not a good dad.
Yeah,
Fat Al Roker was the better Al Roker.
he was the better Al Roker.
he was.
As a matter of fact.
Related, I learned that certain celebs are better when they're fatter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also wrote I want Fat Al Roker back.
Yeah. Don't we all?
We do.
Yeah.
I learned that Burger King cuts corners, but not in the bad way.
I learned, I just wrote Wisconsin. Watch our women masturbate with hockey pucks while our cows fart on pancakes.
I learned that.
Hubba.
I learned that Jews control the weather.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we mean
Implying we don't all know Jews control the weather.
implying.
Yeah,
Implier.
you're the most Jewish among us.
It's true. I'm
Yeah.
very Jewish.
It's not surprising that you say we.
Yeah,
I wrote, "Give me Emerald back, man."
yeah, bam.
Yeah, bam it up.
I wrote Goldeneye was not that great. Not that great.
I wrote Goldeneye isn't good anymore if you're a scrub.
I put that. I put that you got to put the hothead sauce on so the rice separates.
Yes.
Separate the rice.
Yeah, separate the rice.
That's a good tip.
Just the tip?
Just the tip. I wrote that Goldeneye's not that good, but Call of Duty is not that bad.
Yeah.
Not that bad.
Yeah. I wrote that Larry King is literally the Omega virus.
You found me. I heard that from the
human
pisser upstairs. That's like I was taking a leak and I'm like, what?
Found me.
You human scum.
I learned if your helmet is made of bad science, don't put it on your head.
That's not bad science. Yeah.
Only the good science for me, please.
Yeah.
Is that all we
I
learned?
think we learned.
I learned that Dave only digs full-size Big Macs.
If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, right. Wink, wink. I guess that does it, huh?
That's about it.
Man, this is a long one. This is over 3 hours long. Holy fuck.
That's what she said.
So I guess, Alec, thank you for hosting the first ever.
Yes.
The first ever guest host.
Yes.
This is a great topic.
This was
is
a
a hell of
super
a
great
lot.
topic.
It
Yeah.
went exactly as I'd hoped.
It was really good.
I'd hoped
It went really well.
to add some divide, which brings us closer together.
That's right. You know, only in finding the lines between us can we just push closer together. Isn't that it?
correct.
Or something?
Yeah,
kind of
whatever
like
the fuck.
that. Whatever
Hey,
the fuck I'm talking
I'm
about.
hungry.
hungry as fuck.
What are we gonna eat?
Guys,
More
I'm just throwing it
importantly.
out there. El Cowboy.
Little cowboy.
They close in 45 minutes. That's too soon to show up at a restaurant.
Wow.
Sorry.
It's not.
It's you don't want to show up when they're closing in 45 minutes.
Hey, I need
No, you don't want to
whip
show
me
up when they're closing in 4 minutes. 45 is perfectly acceptable.
I want 6 fajitas.
Let's talk about this off air. It has been another successful 3 Dudes
Yeah, it
Cast.
has been.
Thank you for listening. We will see you in another week with another episode. Thank you. Bye.
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 So